Pig, 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 pig news. What's up? Oh, I forgot to do my hair again. Fuck. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? A morning stream in these trying times? It couldn't be. What's up? That's right, live from Seattle. It's the Daily Show with your host, Vosh. Not quite daily lately. It's 3 in the PM. Yeah, for you East Coasters. It's 0.01 in the PM over here. Oh, Europeans. Honestly. Chat had a very musical day. Nice. Music's cool. Have you ever tried to go to a show like that live? Nope, I very rarely go to live shows. They are too loud for me. It is loud there. How you guys doing? Yeah, you like how fucked my chair is now? Hey, here's a quick question. Why are Dragon Ball Z fans idiots? I swear to God, dude, I've been reading through the manga, and most of it I found really uninteresting, and the manga just took a gigantic leap in quality right after Goku died, and Gohan becomes the main character. But here's the thing. I knew about everything that had happened up until that point. I knew about Frieza. I knew about Vegeta. I knew about Cell Saga. I knew about everything up to that point. I didn't know anything about Gohan or the high school or the any of that bit. Um, and yet that's by far way higher quality. What? Did you play DBZ games? No, and I never will. I'm just saying, like, it just seems weird to me that I knew about all of the staples of the show, of the like the mid shit, you know. Um, you're about to be in for a large disappointment. No, I've already gotten to the tournament again. Hey, Gala, play Budokai. It's goated. Is it a fighting game? But it wasn't Goku, so people didn't like it. But Goku just has one personality trait. Gohan has at least two. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Vosh, I have a stomach virus that ruptured my GI, and now I'm throwing up blood during finals week. That is how I'm doing, sadly. Couldn't be me. You know what I've been up to? Not that. Good luck. Hold on, let me turn the water off. I'm really sorry, by the way. Oi, oi. I'm about to enter my 7th week of estrogen. Lucky number 7. Look, I did my hair. I put the hairspray in. What's up? Hey, guys. Yeah, we got a bucket of bummer in chat. Whoa. You've got a GI infection, you're throwing up blood and shitting and dying? That's a bucket of bummer, man. You gotta calm that down. Did you get Twitter banned yet? No. Have you watched Stone Ocean on Netflix? I haven't finished it. I've read the manga though. I know what happens. Don't do politics. Just play Halo 3. Absolutely not. We'll get to it when we get to it. The Japanese and American community are actually split in this. Japan wanted Goku back, but most Americans wanted Gohan to be the main character. That's interesting. You'd think it'd be the opposite, because Goku is an idiot, which is American coded, but Gohan's in high school, which is Japanese coded. Interesting. My train derailed. Train derailed. Fish died. Cat died. House on fire. Yeah. Um. uh. God. Mastodon coverage. I swear to God, we'll get to all of this. Okay. How many of those Trump NFT cards do you have in order? You know what? You know what? Fine. We'll open with that. We'll open with the goofy one. You goofy goobers want a little opener? Okay? Fine. Sure. Go for it. Yeah, okay, fine. Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Okay. You've probably already seen this. It remains incredibly funny. Here we have me meeting the highest standard of journalistic engagement, which is a Hasanabi tweet. You know, for as long as he gets to still have his Twitter. Um, the other day, like 2 days ago now, major announcement. My official Donald Trump digital trading card collection is here. So basically, Donald Trump said America needs a superhero, and a bunch of idiots thought that he meant like something of political importance. But he posted himself with an NFT in the initial video. So I don't know what people expected to happen. And then he announced a line of NFTs, which have apparently all sold, by the way. Sold apparently 45,000 high quality NFTs. So I guess I should start doing this. I don't know, man. This seems like a pretty good grift. They're incredible, by the way. Look at these. Look at this. Oh my god, dude. Can you imagine if somebody hacked your account and all your apes were gone, and these were your apes? It'd be like losing the Library of Alexandria. Holy shit, the knowledge. Look at that. Incredible stuff. This is a funny country. It is a very funny country. The glass are too high. Dude, you're telling me you don't wear your aviators with the bridge of the sunglasses like a full inch and a half over the top of your nose? Play the video, it's so funny. You're right. We can't skip out on the video. Hold on. Come on. Give me that video. I need it. Where is it? Here it is. Oh my god, it's so...
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump. Hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln, better than Washington, with an important announcement
I'm
to
always
make.
saying this.
I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. They're called Trump Digital Trading Cards. These cards feature some of the really incredible artwork pertaining to my life.
Look at this one, by the way. Look, look at his head.
In my career, it's been very exciting. You can collect your Trump digital cards just like a baseball card or other collectibles. Here's one of the best parts. Each card comes with an automatic chance to win amazing prizes like dinner with me. I don't know if that's an amazing prize, but it's what we have. Or golf with you and a group of your friends at one of my beautiful golf courses, and they are beautiful. I'm also doing Zoom calls, a one-on-one meeting, autographing memorabilia.
Oh, thank you very much, Thana. From Baked Alaska. Can't believe I'm going to jail for an NFT salesman. Sag. God, that's good. Oh my god.
And so much more. We're doing a lot. My official Trump digital trading cards are $99, which doesn't sound like very much for what you're getting. Buy one and you will join a very exclusive community. It's my community, and I think it's something you're going to like, and you're going to like it a lot. They also make perfect gifts. So you can buy them with your credit card or crypto. All you need is an email address. Go to collecttrumpcards.com and buy your Trump digital trading cards right now before they are all gone, and they will be gone. This is my first official Trump.
It really defies criticism, does like how like I can't get mad at this, you know?
Trump trading card NFT collection, and you get a chance to meet me. Go to collecttrumpcards.com right now, and remember, Christmas is coming, and this makes a great Christmas gift.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Absolutely, dude. Gathering around the Christmas tree at 6:45 in the morning to hurriedly look through presents, and what I'm 11 years old. There's a sparkle in my eye, and I open up something that looks like it's got an envelope. I open it up. It's got a little card on it with like an 18-digit like NFT like receipt number, and I look up at my MAGA hat wearing parents who are smiling down at me. Finally, I get my own Trump trading card. I like this one. I like the Homelander one. It's very funny. I like any art that depicts Trump as muscular because the disconnect between how his face has to be drawn to make him look like Trump and the body is always very funny to me, you know? Like it feels like a comedy bit, the idea of somebody having the face of Trump and then he rips open his shirt and he's got like 0% body fat. It feels like a bit. Yeah, that's why I'm a big Ben Garrison fan. Yeah, here we go. This is commentary from some of the biggest lunatics in our country. Hold on. Steve Bannon and Michael Flynn heavily criticizing the Trump NFT card announcement. I think Gorka's here as well.
Now, they're called Trump digital trading cards.
Okay.
These
okay.
cards
I can't do
feature
this
some
anymore.
of the...
I can't do this anymore. He's one of the greatest presidents in history, but I got to tell you, whoever, what business partner, and anybody in the comms team, and anybody in Mar-a-Lago, and I love the folks down there, but we're at war. They ought to be fired today.
Just the biggest neo-Nazis in the American game currently, and they're watching the Trump NFT announcement, and they're like, "Oh my fucking, I can't fucking do this guy. I just want fascism. I just want a white ethnic state. Oh my god, I just want to do the Holocaust again. Just, oh my god, please turn off the fucking monkey NFT monkeys. My monkeys are gone announcement, please. Oh my fucking god."
He came out with something that's so important, which I still don't think gets to the heart of it. And hey, you don't have three harder cores than Cortez, Bannon, and Seb Gorka. So when they're, and we're getting blown up all day on this, Seb, walk me through it. Walk me through your assessment of this, sir.
Never should have happened. I mean, look, it's fun, it's hyperbolic, but whoever wrote that pitch should be fired and should never be involved in any. I don't want them making the presidential napkins for Mar-a-Lago. Okay, anybody who came up with that. And the president's war chest is pretty strong right now. We've got 2 years until the actual inauguration. We don't have time to waste. If you want to do this kind of stuff, have a peon do it. Okay, get somebody who's recognized in the MAGA world to put their face to this thing and do it. But the president should not be involved with this. When we,
yeah, I mean, they're not wrong in that it's like, even for Trump standards, it's pretty undignified. There were a lot of Trump supporters who, and again,
Now, they're...
shut up, who, and again, this is because they're stupid, they're idiots. They don't know their own guy. They thought that the, Trump's "we need a superhero" thing, like this was going to be some kind of big political announcement. I saw somebody talking about how like he was going to announce Carrie Lake was going to be his VP pick for 2024. Absolute buffoons, pure comedy, fantastic stuff. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, here we go. Scott Adams. It was Scott Adams. He has me blocked. Let's see. He already announced, so somebody else is the superhero. If it's Carrie Lake as his future running mate, you can throw away all the polls, and your chessboard is already on the floor. You've got like all these Trump guys with their arms folded, and they're like, big announcement from Trump. It's already over for the liberal establishment. And meanwhile, like somebody back at Mar-a-Lago is explaining to Donald Trump what crypto is, and he's just getting like increasingly frustrated as he tries to like bite into his well-done steak. It's very funny. Of course, the real reason this is being done is because Donald Trump is in debt. He has a great many debts that he needs to pay. He's in a pretty rough financial situation. This is just the desperate like scraping together of whatever funds he can pull. Apparently Trump, according to some polls, Trump and DeSantis are now pretty close to each other in terms of 2024 primaries. So find that. Yeah, I saw this was from yesterday, from the 15th. Wild to think that Pence is even on here. It depends on the poll, Bolshevik Y2K. This seems to be an average. Not at all from what I see isn't DeSantis over Trump by double digits. Well, this is an average, so it aggregates from a decent while back, probably. As opposed to just like modern polls that spike in response to specific incidences. Yeah, Trump third party. Let's go. Anyway, it's very funny stuff. It reminds me a little bit of like the reason why presidents get a large pension after they leave the White House. Who was the president who died a pauper? Um, was it Wilson? Wait, who was the president who died in poverty after? What, Truman? Was it Truman? Truman. Yeah, yeah. Um, it was considered to be, in addition to being a national security risk, it was considered kind of like very undignified for a former president to be deeply poor. Um, for fairly obvious reasons, right? Like you can imagine, like imagine like just walking by a downtown district and you see a former president on the street. You know, it's yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Wait. I want to see right here. Post presidency financial situation. Here we go. Wowza. Truman had earned little money and was in debt from the failure of his haberdashery. My God, the world is a silly place. Um, Truman's net worth improved further in 1958 when he and his siblings sold most of the family farm to a Kansas City real estate developer. When he was serving as a county judge, Truman borrowed $31,000, equivalent to $313,000 in 2021, by mortgaging the farm to the county school fund, which was legal at the time. By mortgaging the farm to the county school fund, which was legal at the time. Damn, I'm glad they patched that one up. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. According to Wikipedia, he didn't actually die super poor. It was just kind of like a narrative that got perpetuated because he didn't have as much money as a lot of other former presidents. Huh. Okay, well, never mind. Disproven yet again. Maybe Trump really will be the poorest ex-president by the time the debts and lawsuits and such are done with him. Incredible stuff. All my monkeys have been stolen. Which of these would you guys like? Well, like, which is your favorite, do you think? Sorry, I'm blocking the golden boxing. None? Not even like ironic? Because yeah, the astronaut one is very funny. He's like stanced up over there. What is he doing? The gold bars one is incredible. The gold bars, this looks like something that would play out in like a Republican GOP themed gotcha game after you purchase the ultra chest with real life money, so you can get more like MAGA bucks to speed up your building production. You know, like you know what I mean? Like he gives you the double thumbs up and all the big Trump bullions rain down. Cowboy Trump, yeah. He looks like a goddamn part 7 character. 2 of them are for Zoom calls with him. Yeah, doing a Zoom call with him is one of the potential prizes that you put in a raffle for. A Zoom call with Donald Trump. Oh God. Oh my God, the fucking potential. Holy shit. Oh my God, man. Do it. Sorry, they're all already sold. Was a cowboy doctor? I think it's just a regular cowboy. Over under on any of these prizes being fulfilled? Good question, Galley. I'm gonna say pretty unlikely that those Zoom calls ever go out, or that dinner. Pretty unlikely. They'll probably let him on the golf courses though. Seems low likely. Low likelihood, you know. Hold on. None Adidal. I saw your email and your DM and whatever. In your video on common sense constitutionalism, you falsely accused the journalist who wrote the article of being a fascist sympathizer because you misread the article. No, I didn't. I've never misread anything in my life. The article like habitually softballed the fascists. I didn't mislead anyone or misread anything. Um, and I've never been wrong once. I think the FTC would investigate if he didn't give out the prizes. The FTC has way more to do with Trump than this, Tempest. I think, like, he is behind on so many FTC investigations. He commits violations faster than they can even investigate them for. Yeah, toss in the bucket. They arrested that crypto guy. Yeah, I still don't entirely understand what the deal is with that. Like, I haven't looked into it enough to know. I know I know he's like some they keep saying it was something about him like giving money to himself. I just some standard like bank fuckery. They probably got him because it was for such a large amount. Sam Bankman-Fried ran a scam. Yeah, it's just I think it was mostly it's like the new money, old money thing, right? Like you can get away with hawking billions and robbing the poor who use your services, as long as you're doing it in a kind of like obfuscated, you have dinner with the president and his friends kind of deal. But Sam Bankman-Fried literally just dabbed his way into the financial scene and then dabbed his way out with some fraud. It doesn't. You don't have the you don't have the same protections. He was taking client funds, giving them to his risky hedge fund, then lost it all in risky bets. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There was no lying. Not little. It didn't happen. Are you that guy? Are you the guy who wrote that article? That terrible fucking Politico article? A hero of the people? If only. Sam Bankman-Fried also tried to make FTX appear as a more trustworthy crypto trading market. Man, I thought the whole point of crypto was that it was unregulated. What's with all these goddamn lily-livered, yellow-bellied motherfuckers who are talking about, a market free of government interference, and now all of a sudden, my monkeys are gone. Please investigate. What's going on? Trump NFTs are for money laundering, apparently. What is this? Why am I... Oh my god. Who... Okay, in the future, you gotta give me, like, a reputable source. This guy's face is the entire fucking frame of the portrait video. Hello?
Digital trading cards are a lot more than just a sad grift. When I made my video about it,
This is... okay, this is more okay, but, like, holy shit, this is too much of the frame. This is a 2-minute thing. I don't care. Crypto Crash Kingdom, who played League during meetings, apparently sucked at it. Lamau. Sam Bankman-Fried was bronze tier trash like the rest of us. Hey, dude, fuck you. I got plat after my fucking placement matches, okay? The one season that I did do ranked, all right? I did 10 placement matches. I got put in plat, and then I stopped playing because League is stupid. Despite notoriously playing while pitching big venture capital firms on $200 million investments, a new investigation reveals he was pretty shitty at League, too. Some version of this is what he told venture capital firm Sequoia Capital for one during a meeting where he was actually playing League of Legends. Sequoia knew about this, proceeded to give Bankman-Fried over $200 million in funding, gloated about the League of Legends playing in a profile on its website, then deleted it after FTX flatline. This is so fucking embarrassing. This is like how people like Elon Musk end up attaining power. The idea of like the auteur gentleman fucking e-gamer investor is such a deeply held like brain parasite in the minds of these people that they're bragging about the fact that my man over here was like quick flashing directly into the jungle wall while like taking their $200 million. Like fucking lean over this guy's shoulder to see him like ghost at spawn so he can run back to top lane faster and go, oh my god, this guy's a fucking genius. Yeah. We gotta give him all our money. Sorry. My 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 man Bax 120 gold away from getting the item and waits in spawn. No, he runs back, gets one more creep kill, then backs again. And they're like, dude, this guy's a fucking wizard. We have to give him $500 million. Okay. Bosch's knowledge of League is making debunking the pedo accusations really hard. Yeah, listen, okay, I got out of it, okay? Dude, back when I was playing League, if one of you had fucked me, you would have been the pedo, okay? Jesus Christ. What is League on now? Season 500? Okay, I was playing that shit in high school. This guy only builds warmogs? Hell yeah, dude. 6 warmogs, the fucking king shit. 6. Foot licky. Yeah? Yeah? Gotta have a clean foot? Yeah? Damn, he really wants a clean foot. Wait. Look at him. Ooh. Have you heard we're getting a 40K TV series? I did hear about that. Though I can't say I'm looking forward to it. Wait, Henry Cavill is in it? Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, wait, never mind. My excitement is rising. Holy shit. Please fucking let this guy be a Space Marine. He's got the jawline for it. Few humans have the fucking jawline for it. He's in it and producing it. Is Henry Cavill a 40K? Wait, isn't he? Wait, isn't Henry Cavill like a fucking nerd? He is, right? He is. Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely. He's one of the few guys who can pull off the fucking Ultramarine jaw, okay? It's finally time. We need to get that good rep. He likes the Custodes? Oh my god. What a fucking nerd, dude. He's such a nerd. Ladies. Henry Cavill well and truly is one of those guys put on this earth to make the rest of us look like shit when trying to pick up women. Jesus Christ. It, like, this guy's got literally every base covered. You know what I mean? Like, you can imagine some kind of, like, sitcom bullshit where he's, Jesus Christ. Some sitcom bullshit where he's trying to lay up everyone or whatever, and his looks get him, like, 99% of the way there. But then there's this mousy, bookish girl who won't go for looks alone, and he sits next to her and starts pulling out his fucking 40K miniatures. And, like, Jesus, there's no pussy this guy can't land. I genuinely think he's in the category where you'd have lesbian chicks going like, okay, but Henry Cavill. You know what I mean? In the same way there will be straight guys who will be like, okay, but Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like entirely experiential, you know? Just this once. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, but Daniel Craig. Yeah, yeah. Can't believe you just implied 40K miniatures would help anyone get a girl. They will! This is what you guys don't understand. Autism is in right now, okay? Autism is the hot shit, all right? The only reason the nerd shit doesn't land generally is because of the association between it and social incompetence, or being unattractive, or having poor hygiene, or whatever else. My man over here does not have those problems, meaning that it's just the extra element for him, you know? Like, can you imagine somebody making fun of him for being a nerd? Like, can you imagine the jock dynamic taking place? Who the fuck? Like, he's gonna pull out 40K miniatures, and somebody's gonna be like, "Dude, Henry Cavill, you're such a nerd. You're such a loser, dude. What are you doing?" And then he just turns around and gives you the fucking Henry Cavill stare. What the fuck are you gonna do? He's like, "You really think that?" And no, you don't. You were lying. You think his Warhammer 40K miniatures are cool. Do women like nerds? Yes. Artemis. Cavill for Bond? No, please don't ruin Cavill like that. Daniel Craig hated being Bond for like the last 3 Bond movies. Don't do him like that. He's got that goofy side in him. Yeah. It's like the guy, you know the meme like me and the bad bitch I pulled by being goofy, except you also are a 10 out of 10 supermodel and you're hugely muscular and you're like 6'4" or whatever. You know? Just as a side, like as a side bit. Yeah. What a good boy. Okay. Artemis looks like he's politely interrupting. Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, hypothetical Voshite in the comments hurriedly.
Oh, sorry. Somebody linked a new Lily Orchard video. Maybe politics is fandom wasn't a good idea. Is this about me? Might be about me. Oh, I see myself in there. Yeah, whatever. We don't need to go over a fucking Lily Orchard video. I recognize the voice. Yeah. Can you resolve the new war in your subreddit? Sure, we can do this, then we'll do the Elon thing. We'll do this, then the Elon thing. Alright, let's have discourse. Okay, Taylor Hanson, a wannabe journalist and Twitter fascist, whatever, went to a drag show that said it was all ages approved, but there was like some sexual stuff there. Be doing wacky stuff. There's some titties in a box. They're not real titties. It's prosthetic. You got some stuff going on. It's great. Doing some wacky stuff. That's great. Cool. There's some skeletons. That's very spooky and not appropriate for children. Look, there's a lot here, okay? All right. Are we ready for the truest set of statements ever made in tandem? Okay? First of all, let's be real, all right? Much in the same way that like bringing your kid to an R-rated movie or letting your kid play Grand Theft Auto, it's not going to fucking kill your kid if they get brought to one of these drag shows. Okay? That's point number 1. Like that's number 1. For 2, I think we can fairly say that even if it's not going to kill your kid to see that stuff, there's still a reason why they're age-gated away from it, like generally, socially speaking. And I think stuff like this is pretty weird to be associated with like an all-ages, family-friendly kind of dealio. I do. You know, like I like again, like the problem is that like fascists have washed away any nuance in this discussion, so there are only 2 categories now, which is like perfectly unobjectionably okay and literal pedophilia. And I surmise, you know, my argument is that you know, again, I don't think it's not like you're not grooming a kid, bringing them here, it's not hurting them. However, like advertising this as all ages or family friendly seems kind of weird to me because, you know, like, you know, it seems a bit much for that. The problem here is, again, it's like one of those, it's impossible to weigh in on this discourse because no matter which side of things you take, you're always kind of contributing to a broader moral panic. You know, like it's very difficult to do like a reasoned critique. So I want to make it totally clear, okay? The only groomers here, the only groomers involved in this entire like event or discourse are the fascists who, you know, who play at this anti-drag show shit as a way of ensuring that children stay nice and cisgender for them to molest. You know, they're the groomers here. There's no ambiguity to this. You know, there's no. However, with that being, you know, acknowledged, I really, I'm trying to think of a way to put this delicately. Can we like read the writing on the wall and stop with the fucking like incendiary drag show shit? Because no, whether or not it itself is harmful, it is definitely like discursively harmful. For like the like it reminds me of that like the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir Orchestra where they did that big song where they were like yeah, we're going to groom your children into being good people. And then it just like totally fucking missed, because as it turns out, the rise of fascism is not a great time for bits, you know? It's not a great time to do a bit where the bit is, haha, you're totally right, wink, you know? Like, it's not a matter of whether it's harmful or whether their underlying message is sensible or whether they themselves are bad people, because that's just not what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking about, like, you know, I just feel like I wake up sometimes and other people are making my job hard for me. And not in like an identity way. This isn't like some Stonewall, oh, if trans people would just shut up, the rest of us could get by kind of deal, because that's like their identity. I'm just saying that if you're going to do a drag show with tits in a box, you shouldn't market it on the blurb as family friendly. You lose nothing by saying adults only, except for, I guess, some ticket sales. That's it, you know? Like, there's no one's being suppressed there. There's not like an identity or like a discrimination element to that. It's just, you know, honestly, I feel like going there with your parents is the weirder part. Well, I mean, these kids are being dragged around when it was like 10 or whatever. Some nuance, the drag show is advertised as contains adult content. Yeah, I know that. But it was still advertised as like family friendly, all ages, whatever. It doesn't say family friendly, it just says all ages welcome. Okay. You understand what I'm saying here, right? They could have just said contains adult content and not said all ages welcome, and there would no longer be like a hook. Literally, the only thing they have to change is remove a single sentence that fascists will hyperfixate on, to like the exclusion of all other bits of information. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Again, this isn't about like, oh, you can't do drag shows. This isn't about like, oh, suppress your identity. Just none of that, okay? All ages for venues means it isn't exclusively 21 plus. I'm telling you to say literally whatever necessary to not have any blurb that gives the impression that it's like meant to have kids there. I think it mainly means not a 21 plus carded event, not that they want kids to come. Okay. I understand that. I'm only saying, like, we're like this close. We're very close. Aren't you anti-appeasement? It's not appeasement. I'm saying don't have one line in. Listen, I'm totally okay. Listen, okay, you know what? Nah, fuck it. I'll bite the bullet. Okay, sure, we're doing appeasement. For fuck's sake, stop with the risque drag shows and letting kids to them, at least for a little while. Holy shit, I don't care. No, I don't care. Yeah, call me like an appeaser if you want. I feel like there's this, and this is a very liberal response, by the way, where like they see that like Republicans are doing a moral panic, so their response is the same as like the gay man's San Francisco choir or whatever, where they're like, ah, so you're mad about us? Well, we're gonna double down. But the problem is, it's like tap dancing in front of like a fucking great white shark that's swimming at you. You know what I mean? Like, it's I feel like the attitude some of these venues are taking is one of like, defiance alone will get us through in a way that like comes across as very narcissistic to me. I don't know. Very naive at the very least, yeah. Every single venue that hosts both 21 plus and non-21 plus shows calls the non-21 plus all ages. It's the nomenclature used literally everywhere for all concert shows, etc. There is that is not a legal requirement. You can absolutely phrase things how you want. I'm just talking about, it's like when people say you should be a defensive driver. I'm trying to think of like the most apt analogy here. I guess, yeah, I guess the point. Okay, you know what? We're laying all the cards on the table today. Fine, I'll be honest. You guys have washed it out of me. Honest to God, I don't like drag shows that much because drag queens are fucking annoying. A lot of these places are like run by like gay white men in their 40s who are not like intersectional in their analysis and are just like like basically just pampered ego queens, and they will pretend that they're doing some kind of like vital civil service when in reality it's like a personal, like, they just like dressing up, which, fuck it, great, it's America, you know? And I just don't value children getting to go to the drag show as like a social right so much that I care enough about defending it that I want to like keep having to see these fucking Twitter threads about 9-year-olds going to the show with the tits in a box. It's not about hurting the kids, because the kids aren't hurt by a stupid fucking prosthetic gag. I wasn't hurt by playing GTA or watching R-rated movies when I was a kid. There were tits in like T-rated movies back in the 80s. Things have changed so much. The main issue that I have is that I feel like the quality of my life is being reduced by a bunch of like middle-aged gay white men, and I had enough of that when I lived next to West Hollywood. That's my main fucking bit, okay? That's my fucking take. It's that I'm fucking tired of the quality of my life being reduced by middle-aged gay white men, okay? I'm sick and tired of it, frankly, all right? And I know they're the ones behind this, because they're the ones behind fucking all drag shit. Not all, there are trans drag, blah, 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 blah. However, a lot of it, okay? That's my final take. I'm sticking to that. Yeah, my struggle. Call your people out. I'm not middle-aged. Fuck you, I'm in my 20s. God. Why is this about the venue and not about the right? No, no, no. I'm not getting into this. Shut up. It's a stupid fucking drag show. The kids aren't doing anything there anyway. A 9-year-old isn't even going to appreciate any of the cultural context that makes a drag show interesting. I've been to good drag shows because I'm cultured, all right? You're bringing a 9-year-old there because you're a woke fucking dipshit who wants to, like, be seen as a progressive parent, all right? I'm not stupid. Just because you're not grooming your kids doesn't mean you're not a dipshit, all right? How do you know? Because I know everything. No, it's like social club shit. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't think that like there's any social value. You're screaming at parents to taking their children to the theater. Is that what you're getting from this? It's no less cringe than dragging your 12-year-old to a concert for a band they don't give a shit about because you love it. Yeah, and I think that's pretty cringe too. Though it doesn't have a moral panic attached to it. Literally? Literally with the theater? What is this discourse accomplishing? There's no reason to contribute anything to this discourse. It's a lose-lose no matter what. If this community can accept that it was a bad idea for the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir to do a bit where it's like, yeah, we are grooming your kids, tee-hee. If we can agree that regardless of their actual moral intentions, regardless of the actual point of the video, that it was a bad bit, then we can agree that what we're not talking about here is the right to do something. What we're talking about is, like, behavior that really needlessly feeds the beast. You know what I mean? Over something as stupid as bringing children to a drag show, which, again, like, children get nothing out of this. It's not even like, you can't even say this about, like, Drag Queen Story Hour, because it, like, that's, like, you're reading the books to kids, right? Which, you know, kids like having books read to them in a wacky outfit. That's totally fine. But, like, a drag show is literally just, like, a fashion runway show, except with sex jokes and wackier costumes. Like, a 10-year-old doesn't have... There's no world in which any of this resonates with them. It's entirely out of their ballpark, you know? It's kind of like kink at Pride, right? No, it's not about kink at... Oh my god. Can we just assume the majority of people get what I'm saying? Is it possible chat's trying to annoy you on purpose and they don't even disagree? There's a reasonable likelihood that's what's happening here, yeah. They did simulated fellatio at this event. I'd say this crosses the line even if fascists weren't blowing up over actual family-friendly drag shows / reading events. Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, man. We make the comparison to Hooters all the time. How would you feel if, like, there was an event at a Hooters where they did a bunch of like fake nudity, simulated sex, and people were like lining up to bring their kids to that, and it was all like straight coded. I would think that's a bit weird. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily say that's grooming or pedophilia, but I would definitely think it's a bit weird, you know? I just don't want to get so reflexive about defending drag show stuff that we forget to acknowledge that sometimes it's possible for things to be a bit weird, you know? This does happen, and it is weird, yet the right doesn't care. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying the right's consistent in their outrage, and I think it's perfectly fine to point out the fact that they're inconsistent. I'm only saying that, like, man, do we have to go through all this shit here? Is it like, am I really that, like, hey guys, fascists are about to take over and there's a giant moral panic. Do we think possibly, just maybe, we could exercise slightly more public discretion when it comes to fulfilling every possible, like, negative stereotype? That is, it's like a fucking Chippendales event. That's made about, like, drag show stuff. Thank you, the reflexive tribalism to defend everything that has anything to do with queer stuff. Yeah, I hate defending queer stuff. I love attacking queer people. It's my favorite thing in the world. The left sucks at lying low and not tempting fate. Again, I want to be clear. Like, it's not about you can't do drag shows, and it's not about drag shows are bad for children or anything like that. It's literally just, this was just a very sex-driven drag show. I think it's okay to, like, discourage kids from going there when the fascists are running up a 24/7 media spree on this exact thing happening. Even though it's not grooming, even though it's not pedophilia, even though I don't think you can make a reasonable argument that the children are necessarily being harmed by going there, I'm not making any of those arguments, much in the same way that children aren't harmed by the gay San Francisco choir song, which was a bad bit. I just think it's a bad bit, you know? Vosh, so if queer people just act the right way, they'll stop being attacked? Good shit. Okay, Sarah. I think most of the people in chat who I see freaking out are just you specifically. Let me confirm my suspicion real quick. And then I'm going to talk directly to Sarah here, and then we're going to move on. Sarah gets to be the avatar of discontent this time, okay? We will respond specifically. Oh, this is their first day in chat. Or maybe not their first day in chat, but their first day chatting. Ben Shapiro level take, Pepe laugh. Children go to Hooters all the time and it's normal. It's fucked, but it's normal amount now. So if queer people just act the right way, they'll stop being attacked. Good shit. Okay. So we're gonna do a final runabout with Sarah. This is like the end of the Final Fantasy battle or whatever. Okay, where now it's the only two people left in the battlefield. Okay, it's me and Sarah. And Sarah's like 10 feet tall and has a sword that is also a scorpion. All right. So now you've got, and I'm just me. So I'm gonna lose, right? Yeah. See, Sarah's into this. Okay. Here's the thing. Appeasement is a really bad political strategy because, generally speaking, in the game of politics, where people are willing to do a lot of harm to get what they want, they're not usually going to stop pursuing the thing they want. Just because you've given them half of it. That very rarely works out. There are times when compromise can be good and valuable, but generally speaking, if one like side of the conflict doesn't have a good claim to their stake to begin with, they're not going to settle for half. You know, you don't concede half a genocide. You don't concede half a land grab, half a acquisition of people or territory or resources on social issues. You don't go, oh, okay, well, we'll only half discriminate against this group. It just doesn't work. However, and I understand while saying this that, like, I can't control the whole LGBT community and I can't keep them from being cringe. We must understand that in the abstract, if you could perfectly control the behavior of every single member of a group, if you were some kind of gay hive mind, it actually would be possible to significantly reduce the likelihood of harm being done to that group. Think about it. If every single queer person in America operated as a kind of central hive mind and were capable of coordinating their actions and behaving responsibly with no errors, mix up, no slips of the tongue, no awkward, inconvenient, or embarrassing bits of news to contradict narrative, if we could all just operate perfectly at all times, it would make it way more difficult to discriminate against them just because they're behaving with such like superhuman, consistency and cohesion. We obviously can't reach that ideal, but I do think there's something to be said for prudence and responsible self-management when society's eyes are on us. A good example that I would like point to when it comes to stuff like this would have been like the civil rights movement, because the civil rights movement was a big deal. They fought for a lot of good stuff, but there was a very high standard of expected good behavior within the higher ups in the civil rights movement. Even with like the Black Panther Party, there was like a high expectation for regimented behavior, not just for the leadership, but for people who were in the group. And the reason for that was because even if the central claim was perfectly correct, regardless of the behavior of any people involved, the idea that black people are first-class citizens who should be treated equally, that claim is true literally no matter what happens, right? Like Martin Luther King Jr. could have like run down Main Street, chucking rocks at windows and like I don't know, lighting fires. It would not have made his central argument any less true. It just would have made him kind of like dumb, counterproductive. Obviously, if he had done that, it would have been pretty bad for the civil rights movement. We're not talking about the validity of the argument here. We're not talking about validating any of the concerns of the opposition. We're only talking about, what behavior, maximizes the likelihood of good outcomes. Now, sometimes the good behavior that people want you to engage in is inherently limiting, right? Because there are a lot of fascists right now who are like, hey, if you just, don't don't do the whole trans thing, if you don't teach any trans stuff to kids, if you prevent children from even being allowed to learn about trans people, if you accept all these concessions, then that's like the sacrifice that you need to make, and then we'll stop bothering you. Of course they're lying when they say that, but even if they weren't, you have to take into account like, well, what's more valuable, the optical benefit that I would get from engaging in that behavior versus the harm being done by adhering to these restrictive standards. That's the balance. How much good do you get versus how much do you lose? Now, I don't know how much good we really get realistically from like being really careful when it comes to sexualized drag shows that children are at, but I do know one thing. How much do we lose by discouraging children from going to these events? Fucking nothing. Literally nothing, because they don't get anything out of them anyway, and also because most drag show events are really annoying and fucking boring and put on by a bunch of prancing, self-obsessed, middle-aged white gay dudes who just love taking stage, and that's the only thing they give a shit about, and all the adjacent civil rights stuff is just window dressing to them, okay? So that's my take. I don't know how much good we get from this, but I just care so little. I care so little about, like, defending the right for children to go to highly sexualized drag shows, regardless of any broader like fascist norms surrounding it. That's the take that I'm arriving at. Yeah, there's nothing lost there. There's no harm being done to anyone, any LGBT issue. There's no harm being done if it's just like, yeah, because again, you would say the exact same thing if it was straight coded, right? Don't lie to me. If there was a straight show or whatever that was all like girls in cowgirl tassels, like playing around with fake nudity and pretending to fuck each other on stage and doing stripper dances, and then you looked in the audience and there were a bunch of hick biker children who were like 10 years old or whatever, you would call that shit weird. I'm not going to pretend it's not weird just because it's queer coded or because fascists are lying about it. That's the end of my bit, okay? That's it. I'm done. I did my bit. That's it. I just feel like they would complain about something new with all the same vitriol and hatred. Yes, they will. I don't think good behavior of queer people has anything to do with the zeitgeist opinion of queer people. That's not true. It's not. Never buy into the idea that they'll hate us just as much no matter what we do. I promise you, they can always hate you more. I feel like I've always sort of argued this. Like, I don't buy into the civility politics bullshit, but the idea that the optics has no, like, play with how people respond, it's just not true. There is. There is an effect. There is an impact. I've always argued this. I've never argued otherwise. Oh my God, too much. Just to reiterate, it would be fine if it didn't say all ages welcome because of the way the venue phrases their events. And if they didn't do that and it was just the adult content warning, then would you have no issues, correct? Literally, yeah. I understand there's like a typical parlance there. I wouldn't even care if they just banned under 18s, frankly, because I see very little cultural value in what is, again, to be clear, a biker show with a bunch of strippers pole dancing, but queer-coded. You know, we're not exactly talking about, like, you know, Mozart, all right? We're not talking about, like, actual fucking queer theater, like, I don't know, Henry Angry Inch or whatever the fuck that show is. We're not talking about, like some transgressive, like, transcendental art piece, okay? We're talking about a hootin', hollerin', yippee-ki-yay, yeehaw, howdy, ass-shaking, but queer-coded. No, 18 plus provides a lot of value to newly outed queer kid. What? 16 plus provides a lot of value to newly outed queer kid. There is no value in this show. Okay. This is dragphobic. I'm extremely dragphobic. Can we move on? Bosh, actually, what the fuck? Man, Vosh unironically peddling conservative conspiracy theories about drag shows. This is what always gets me about you people. You guys are incapable of understanding the difference between good and bad criticisms. You just have, like, team sports that you, like, fall behind. What conservative conspiracy theory? You're hearing what you want to hear. You're delusional. You're psychotic. You need to book an appointment with a psychiatrist. You need to bankrupt yourself getting psychosis meds. Really, I've never said that, okay? Please calm down. I swear to God, dude, if this was all straight coded, oh man, dude. But sponsored by Bud Light, you know, on a big wooden stage constructed somewhere in the periphery of Nashville. A bunch of biker dudes show up. You've got a bunch of, like, MAGA hats in the crowds. You've got, like, chicks, like, popping beer tops off with their pussies, like, through jean shorts or whatever. You've got guys showing up in, like, you know, like, I don't know, what's, like, heterosexual leather up and downs or something, you know, like thrusting their hips together, and you've got a bunch of 10-year-olds in there. And what, you're going to argue those 10-year-olds, like, need to be there because it's like valuable for, like, what's the opposite of newly outed children? Unouted. These children just learned they're straight, and you're going to take away their biker pussy sex show? Yeah, Daytona Bike Week shit. Funnily enough, I think Channel 5 covered such an event. It had coleslaw wrestling women bikinis. Yeah, we looked over that here. Newly baptized children. You're really gonna take away the chick popping the can off of the beer bottle with her pussy through the jean shorts from you're gonna take that from the newly baptized children? What the fuck is wrong with you? Vosh, I get it. It's like gays saying back in the 80s to stop fucking so much to stop the spread of HIV. Oh my god. Guys, all right. I've been moved full authoritarian. It should be illegal to bring children to sexualized drag shows just because you guys are insufferable. I don't even like drag shows, so I'm just going the authoritarian route. I don't like them, which means that they're bad, which means that you shouldn't be allowed to go to them. Yeah, there. That's my... Thanks. You guys did it. Congratulations. Thank you for being deliberately obtuse to the point of driving me to this. It's all entirely your fault. I get what Vosh is saying. It's like how gay people can exist as long as they never show or act like it ever. G469, you have never left your house. Shut the fuck up. You have never you can't order a fucking pizza, okay? You piece of shit. Fuck all of you. Oh my god. We're talking about 10-year-olds bewildered, sweaty, and scared as they stand there in front of a bunch of adults jeering at a crowd on a stage they can't understand. Dude, I've been to events like that as a kid. Not drag show events, but like places that have a stage. You know what I did as a 10-year-old? I sat there or stood there thinking like, dude, can I get high off the weed fumes? Dude, I'm gonna get so high. I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's like a bunch of like bewildered children in the audience, and you guys are like, I would rather fucking die than take away the right for these children who were dragged here by their insecure 30-somethings parents to watch a bunch of Chippendale bits from people dressed up like RuPaul characters. I would rather be tortured to death than even imply that considering my opening line on this was, I think they should remove one sentence from the blurb that suggests or implies that like kids should come in there. And we have people in chat acting like I'm doing the fucking gay bit after Stonewall where I kick trans people under the bus. I guess this is like the pivotal civil rights fucking... Oh, God. You actually get the data on which age groups watch you. It's like how many children are in chat. Oh, fuck, you're right. The people in chat who are mad are all themselves 10, and they're just angry at the idea of not being explicitly encouraged to attend any event where there are, like, prosthetic titties in a box. Bosch, the point is that fascists are a bigger threat and should be focused on. Let us be three. You have already expended more effort in arguing with me than my initial point should have, like, been expended on. Literally, like, hey, if you're going to have a drag show that has a bunch of overtly sexual shit, try to frame the marketing blurb in a way that indicates it's not appropriate for children. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking of you. You would ask the same thing if it was a straight-coded event. You would have no trouble with this at all. If we attended one of those like biker whatever pussy cat fucking beer bottle whatever Chippendale bits, and we were like, a little weird, there are a bunch of 10-year-olds in the audience, maybe in the future we should like say it's not appropriate for kids, and then you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense, and then that would be the end of it. Okay, I officially don't care anymore. That's how I felt 20 minutes ago. It's not a big deal. These kids aren't being harmed. They're not being groomed. This isn't pedophilia. I just think, you know, it would be okay if you had like one sentence discouraging kids from going there. I think that's okay, in my opinion. I do not think that this is fucking appeasing Adolf Hitler. I don't think we're giving him the Sudetenland. I don't think the fascists are getting the Einschlausch off of this. I think it's okay. I think we're going to be okay. Do we think pride parades are supposed to be a bit more conservative / less provocative now that fascism is rising? If I could, like, perfectly control all queer people with my brain, and we could operate as a hive mind, I would definitely direct them to act with more modesty, given the circumstances. But that's more of, like, an interpersonal behavior thing. I'm just saying, like, events should have one extra sentence in the marketing blurb. You know, it's not, it's a different like line of engagement. Don't people not have an issue with half-clothed cheerleaders at every sporting event? Hikari, we're not talking about people wearing skimpy clothes. We're talking about a closed doors, multi-hour event with adults simulating sex and doing sexually provocative stuff on stage. Come on. Please. if I swear to God, dude, if this was straight coded, we never would have had an argument over this. Nobody would have cared. This drag queen had a lot to say to children who are in the front row who were being given money by their mother to hand to the drag queens. He engaged with 2 different children, a 9 and a 10-year-old. Are you having fun yet? Are you enjoying it? Are you confused yet? The host, Nina West, played a game with the audience called Naughty or Naughty. The game involved giving explicit details of sexual encounters. In the video, Nina details having sex with her dad's coworker in his office. An audience story shared his explicit story as well.
Father's boss in my father's office.
Period. Remember, middle-aged, white gay men are the most annoying humans on Earth. Just keep that in mind.
I want to know her. And I said, oh, we in El Paso. Now, who out here is willing to tell me a story, tell the room, not just me, to leave the room, the story. Okay, well stand up. Go ahead, guys. Tell me your name.
It's a 4-year-old? No, it's not.
Gilbert. Okay, so tell me your story.
So very similar. Does everyone know where Divine, Texas is? So
I would rather impale myself upon a pit of spikes than deny a single 10-year-old the ability to stand incomprehensibly shoulder to shoulder in a crowd of sweaty adults listening to middle-aged white gay men describe their sexual experiences. I would rather burn to death.
I slept with my stepfather's co-worker in our RV over Thanksgiving.
Not his co-worker.
Vosh, you were literally just describing theater, and it's really funny. Sarah, go drink some water. Literally been hearing dirty jokes since watching Jim Carrey movies. Oh my God! If this was straight coded, none of you would disagree. None of you. Hey, those Jim Carrey movies, by the way, were rated by a government agency that determined, or not government, by an agency that determined their fucking age rating, by the way. And had baked into the system of watching movies something that would indicate that there's been an official review board that determines the appropriate age. I agree with you? Okay. Literally one line. This clip is harmless. Oh my God. One line in the marketing blurb. One additional line. One single line. Not appropriate for kids. One single additional line. One extra single additional line. Type it into the chat right now. Not appropriate for kids, and that's it. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking for one additional line. Oh my God, it's so fucking weird how there are lefties who, and I don't believe any of you actually disagree with me. I think a lot of you are just like reflexively pretending to disagree with me because you feel like you have to do some united front against fascism thing right now. But I feel like what's happening right now, this is the equivalent of like you in your head, you're thinking like, I will not criticize trans women. They get enough of that. And then like your trans roommate like fucking takes a giant shit in the toilet and doesn't flush. And you're like, and your other roommate's like, hey, you're stinky shit. Can you flush your stinky shit? And you're like, whoa, hey, we need to stay in the united front against fascism right now. It's like, fuck, dude, flush the toilet, please. It stinks. Power. Move on. Stop getting stun locked. But I'm having fun.
That's what I said. Wait, I saw you guys with your mom in the meet and greet. Where's Melinda, the mom? Melinda, right? Wait, tell me your name again. Sonia, we need more mothers like you in the world. Thank you so very much. I think that this is awesome. This is awesome. Hold on here. You know what? Hold on. Tell me your name again, too. Thank you. Okay, Ty and who? Major. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Vosh, if you just had so much fun criticizing the right is my point. Oh, if only the channel Vosh ever criticized the right. He never does that. Can we move on to something else? Maybe one day. But I do like arguing with chat. Vosh will never criticize the right. Can we go over this again? Chat is wrong. You're right, Somniostatic. Let's take it from the top. No. It's, yeah, God. One line. No, it's about the right misrepresenting the mean of all. Okay. All drag shows are banned now. We've done it. We've moved the over further. I get more right wing with time. All drag shows are now banned. They're done. Let's be real. They weren't that good anyway. Let's be real. Let's be real. 99% of them were the most annoying people that it is biologically possible to produce. Putting chicken feathers on and dancing and getting the crowd of drunk white women to scream every time they shake their ass. It's fine. Nothing of value is lost. It's fine. The only value there is associated with drag queens is the costume designers, and we just need to move them over to Hollywood, okay? Just have them go over there and do like artsy, like indie shit. Stop doing what you're doing. Yeah, but they're colored chicken feathers, Tempest. The dye is expensive. Can we still impose everyone gay marry, though? For now. Okay, I think we're good. Why do you have 2 coffee mugs? Because I have 2 coffees in the morning. Why do lefties purity test so hard they turn allies into conservatives? I think the main issue is just that, like, most people are retarded and they don't understand that there's more more nuance to this. Like, the people in chat who disagree with me are literally saying stuff like, why don't I go after conservatives? And you're just rehashing conservative conspiracies. These people don't have brains. They got into progressivism through luck. Through pure adjacency, they ended up with roughly correct positions. But, you know, they could hit their head really hard one day and from basic positions come back to fascism. It's just pure, just very small, these this gray matter. There's nuance to every issue, you know? And the thing that's really important to point out here is, like, this isn't, I'm not on Tim Pool's show right now. If I was talking to Tim Pool, you know what I would say? I would say, you know, maybe it's a little weird for kids to be here, but kids can go into R-rated movies with their parents there. Not a big deal. None of these kids are being groomed. There's no pedophilia here. Seriously, like, you can get jokes about this dicey in a lot of video games kids are playing anyway. The idea that this is grooming is ridiculous. Come on. You know, and then I would move on to some other shit. I'd talk about pedophilia on a systemic level, the abuses of the church or of the family, what you can do to prevent it. In an environment where you're being met with immediate skepticism, it's important to frame things so you can always understand what's most important. Get your point out there. And if you want to prevent pedophilia, let me tell you, going after drag queens ain't it, all right? Because there's literally no data indicating that there's any, like, proportionate association there. None whatsoever. But we're not on Tim Pool's show, okay? You're gay. I'm gay. Shut the fuck up, okay? We're not at a picket line right now. We're not on the street. We're not in Black Bloc, all right? I'm just talking about a fucking personal feeling I have on a incredibly minor change that can be made to possibly negate a lot of, like, bad faith argumentation down the line. This is not like the United Front shit, okay? We're not like operating on some, like, incredibly thin margin of skepticism from an audience of conservatives. You know? And if there are a bunch of conservatives watching, then maybe, you know, that maybe they would have, you know, been swayed somewhat by the 7 or 8 times I said everything fascists are saying about drag shows is wrong during this entire bit. You guys remember that, right? Like every time I said, hey, this doesn't have anything to do with grooming or pedophilia. You guys remember that, right? Remember that? I remember that. I said it like 50 times, you know? But people act like any discussion is some kind of like concession, a wall moving backwards, not realizing that as a natural contrarian, chat being really dumb actually genuinely does make me want a devil's advocate harder. But I resist the urge. I'm coming away from this with the moderate position that being gay should be illegal. We're done. We're done. It's fine. There's literally nothing else to it here. My actual prescription is the addition of a single line in the marketing blurb. If that's, you know, letting him have the Sudetenland, then fuck it, let him have the Sudetenland. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? It's not like these drag shows are that good anyway. You know, people say drag shows are bad because they're degenerate. My problem is they're not degenerate enough. They're not socially degenerate. They're not breaking any taboos or stuff. Wow, you got titties in a box? That's crazy. Who was that guy who did the dick in a box bit like 50 years ago? Not socially transgressive enough. You're just, you know, what's that Patchy the Pirate meme? What? That was it? That was just gay white men prancing around for 2 hours, you know? Do something wacky. Birdman that shit. Bring a real gun, I don't care. You being a middle-aged gay dude complaining about middle-aged gay dudes the gayest you've ever acted. I'm in my 20s, and I will be complaining about them through my middle age, so I'll keep it. All right, moving on. Goodbye. Hold on. Did you see this Tucker clip yet? No. Are you going to be playing Halo 3 today? No. I will, however, be looking at Thing. Hold on. Create a free BBC account. No. Yeah. Speaking of, I'm a bit late on this news. But I thought it'd be good to kick it in here, you know? So as you all know, despite being, you know, enormous homosexuals in the sense that they're bottoming for Ukraine right now, Russia actually very anti-gay as a country. This is from about a week ago. It goes forward. Thank you. Welcome to the world. I'll take a look at donos shortly. Russian President Putin on Monday signed into law a bill that expands a ban on so-called LGBTQ propaganda in Russia, making it illegal for anyone to promote same-sex relationships or suggest that non-heterosexual orientations are normal. The ban was rubber-stamped by Putin just days after a harsh new foreign agents law came into effect, as the Kremlin cracks down on free speech and human rights as its military operation in Ukraine falters. The new laws significantly broaden the scope of a 2013 law which banned the dissemination of LGBTQ-related information to minors. I think this is a very interesting kind of parallel. Yeah, you say DeSantis is taking notes, but the initial law banned the dissemination of LGBTQ-related info on minors, which is exactly the same, like, entry point that Republicans in America are trying to get in on here. Wait, does this link to itself? No, they're slightly different. They just have the same open... Okay, right. Sure, okay. Which ban the dissemination of LGBTQ-related information to minor. The new iteration extends the ban on promoting such information to adults as well. Now, I've said this before, of course, but if you... Any attempt to make information illegal to present to children means you want to make that information illegal broadly. There is no... I can't think of, like, any exception to this. If there is something that you want to ban the... in school from, like, them learning about, it's because you're broadly opposed to that socially. I can't think of anything like any social porn. I'm talking about information, not content. What the fuck? Oh, wow. The Democrats aren't allowing schools to play the Antichrist 2013 to their audience of 5-year-olds. Curious. No, I'm talking about porn is information. Jesus Christ, guys. Academic information. Shut up. I'm going to keep rolling back to this. The point is that this is the wedge they always use, right? You know, it always starts with protect the children, and then it pans out to society at large. The new laws make it illegal to promote or praise LGBTQ relationships, publicly express non-heterosexual orientations, or suggest they're normal. So this is phrased vaguely enough that it essentially just means, like, you can't be gay or say anything about gay other than explicit negativity. That's the only thing you can say. And the way in which this was initially presented, as a kind of like protecting the children from LGBTQ propaganda, is, in addition to it being the exact way Republicans are currently trying to sell this moral panic to the rest of us, right? Like the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, where they would, remove federal funding from any schools, teachers, or open teachers up to private lawsuits if they taught about gender, which of course in practice, or sexual orientation, which of course in practice means like anything related to gay or trans people, not about cisgender or straight people. And the way it pans out further, the thing that's interesting to me is the fact that, like, it apparently took 9 years for them to officially scale up this law. And I feel like the Republicans are operating on a faster timescale than that, The European Court of Human Rights ruled in 2017 that the 2013 law is discriminatory. Wow, did it find them? It took them 4 years to figure that out, huh? Took them a little while, They really had to bring that one back to the lab. Figure it out. It looks like CNN just uses the same, like, opening video for every single article they write on the anti-LGBTQ law. Like, I've seen 3 articles I've linked to now have the same video at the top. What is this video you want me to see so badly? What do you want? What do you want from me?
For years, being gay has been extremely tough in Russia. Now it's about to get even harder. After Russian parliament passed what it calls the LGBT propaganda law, claiming in part it's a defense against U.S. influence.
I cannot put it any other way. The United States of America has become the global center of this sodomy. Let them live there. Do not touch us.
Anti-gay tirades are often embedded into coverage of what Russia calls its special military operation in Ukraine on state TV, making the war out to be part of a larger battle.
Do they think the U.S. invented being gay? Well, this is the globo homo conspiracy theory, which is actually just the Nazi conspiracy theory. It's the same thing. It's just the idea that, like, the global bulwark of liberal progressivism is a Jewish invention that spreads outward and corrupts other countries. Proud to be the center of homosexuality, I guess. I think it's worth pointing out, by the way, that right now, Republican messaging fully agrees with this. Don't forget that during the World Cup, when Qatar very, very publicly, like, rebuked any kind of pro-gay messaging at the World Cup, Western conservatives were jeering and talking about how it's their country, their rules, as if conservatives have ever given a shit about that under any other context. They do the same thing when it comes to, like, it's weird kind of like, what do they call it? Schrodinger's a cultural relativism, where at times conservatives are willing to use the homophobia of Muslim countries as a way of saying America is better, but at other times are willing to actively defend that homophobia as a preferable alternative to, you know, degeneracy here in the West.
Of Russia against the West and its alleged moral decay. Yaroslav Rasputin, a gay rights activist in Moscow, says he feels singled out.
This is the information noise that we're becoming victims of. We're being used as scapegoats to distract attention and redirect the hatred of the electorate that supports Putin and the war.
Russian President...
Whoa, dude, that's crazy. Are you telling me that the Kremlin is using culture war talking points and social conservatism as a way of riling up its base to distract them from other failings? Kind of like the way Republicans promote austerity and pro-business interests and have for decades, to the point where they don't really have anything to sell their audience when it comes to economic issues, so instead they distract them by having them hyperfixate on imaginary culture war moral panics. Russia's gonna ban Apex? Oh, shit. Hell yeah. That's actually a big deal. Wait, list of games with LGBT propaganda. Assassin's Creed? Okay, Life is Strange, I get. Fallout? Damn, they're getting a lot of shit. Le Crime du Parking? Ah, yeah, my favorite game. Le Crime du Parking. This one always gets me. RimWorld. Isn't homosexuality in RimWorld literally just like... it just pops up as like a descriptor on a little dude down there? I guess it's like The Sims, kind of. It's just a trait, you know? It's an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. Is that meant to be GTA 5? Wait. Le Crime du Parking. Is this meant to be Grand Theft Auto? Crime of parking, like cars? Grand Theft Auto? Is that... No, it's a text adventure. I don't think it's a text adventure. I think it's a French text game from the 80s. I don't think they're listing a text game from the 80s between Overwatch and The Sims. If I Google Le Crime de Parking... an Apple II 1985 game. Yeah, I don't know if it's that. Maybe? I don't know, man. I have no idea. They're just banning everything that can possibly have a gay/lesbian character. Well, hey, at least Nintendo will be fine. Nintendo is in such a weird spot because on one hand, like, they're very socially conservative in a lot of ways and they don't deviate from formula. But on the other hand, there are canonically transgender Pokemon characters. Yeah. Game Freak puts a lot in there. It's not just in the English translation either. It's in the Japanese version, so... Excuse me. That's all Japanese game developers for the most part. Well, at least there's Yakuza. They gotta ban Yakuza too, right? Don't forget the cross-dressers in Breath of the Wild. It's important to understand... I've said this before. I think ER, that Nazi review guy, got mad at me for saying this on Twitter. But, or I think he found a video of mine where he got mad about this. But conservatives don't understand. All the art they love is degenerate in the way they view degeneracy. All the games, films, TV shows, all of it was made by people they would consider to be degenerate and contains stuff they would consider to be degeneracy. That's something that actually kind of like differentiates the world today from the world of like Weimar Germany. Because I feel like back in the 1930s, for a lot of people, artistic consumption was like architecture, newspapers, maybe like listening to radio music or whatever. There was much less like immediate day-to-day critical engagement with art. It wasn't as all-subsuming as it is today. But nowadays, like art consumption is fully ubiquitous for most people in society. Not jazz, whatever, just some fucking blues. I don't know. And it's all gay now. All of it is gay. The games you play, gay. The movies you watch, gay. The TV shows you watch, gay. Gay, gay, gay. Don't tell me you're not listening to gay music, because you fucking are, okay? They're all gay all the time. Which means that, like, these conservatives would have a very joyless life if they got the society they wanted, These, like, 15-year-old convert tradcaths who are porn addicts at the age of 9, They don't realize, I think, like, they want to, like, get rid of degeneracy from society, and then they go on their computer and they boot up, like, fucking, yeah, Apex Legends, or they play Fallout or whatever. It's like they don't realize, like, everything you love, everything good in life is made from us, from progressivism, from gay people. Fascism is cultural death. It is necessarily culturally regressive. It is unfun, in simple terms. It is deeply unfun. I don't understand. What do you mean it's all gay? By gay, I mean their term for degenerate. If you take a look at what fascists refer to as degenerate or woke, we're talking about, like, an incredibly broad list of attributes that applies to basically all modern media. They just hyperfixate on specific elements of it, Like, literally, you can do this for basically any good piece of media that people care about. I don't watch that many movies, but, like, Breaking Bad, for example, I don't want to spoil or nothing, but one of the principal characters and antagonists of Breaking Bad is literally a gay Latin black man. The central thesis of Breaking Bad is a critique of masculinity. I know that goes over the head of a lot of people, but yeah, I'm referring to Gus. I know that goes over the head of a lot of people, but it's still absolutely factually true. Among Us, yes, of course. I'm trying to think of, like, where you'd have to go for media. Gus is gay? Yes, Gus is absolutely gay. I'm trying to think of where you'd have to go for media to, like, not have that. Well, hold on, wait. Top selling movies all time. IMDb. If you want to talk about globo homo shit or whatever, like, I'm guaranteeing you, with having not actually watched all these movies by far, that every single one of these contains at least something that your average fascist would call degenerate. Whether that be the inclusion of non-white characters in prominent roles, or women doing something they consider too feminist, whether that be certain aesthetics or archetypes that are pulled from gay culture or from, like, broader progressive acceptance, whether that be, like, different understandings of gender roles and shit. Like, I'm 100%, and I mean everything, even shit like Minions. I genuinely mean that. Like, a movie like Minions could not have come out in the 1950s, not just because it's a CG movie and so on and so forth, But, like, even your average, like, play Frozen to a bunch of GIs who just came back from Normandy, and they would all shoot themselves. They couldn't handle it. They wouldn't be able to handle it, There's minions doing gay shit in the background all the time, Vosh. Yeah, they're all fucking each other all the time. Nick Fuentes unironically loves Minions. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. What about Joker? Heterosexual people could not have made Joker in its entirety. Not possible. A movie like Joker can only exist because gay people exist. I mean this fully and entirely. That degree of, like, masculine self-critique cannot exist in a fascist society. No, I'm totally serious when I say this. Take a look at fascist movies. Not movies about fascism, but movies made by fascists. They could never make the Joker. Never. Because fascists can't make art. The closest thing they can make is a political celebration of the virtues they care for. A fascist movie on masculinity can only be a movie on the virtues of masculinity, or of masculinity warring against anti-masculine social elements. That's not what the Joker is. The movie, the Joker, is much richer than that, much more complicated. But a fascist couldn't make that. What's the name of that fascist movie where there's like, they showcase it in the Inglourious Bastards. It was made by the Nazis. It was that soldier who killed like 5 billion dudes in his own. No, not 300. The one where he was in like the tower. Is that Triumph of the Will where he shoots like 5 million guys and then fucking dies and scrapes a swastika into the tower? No? Okay, yeah, I'm talking about something different. Listen to the description that I'm giving. I know the name of Triumph of the Will. Nation's Pride? Oh, was that made up? Nation's Pride. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to describe a movie. You guys are like, okay, so this was only a film in film. A perfect parody. Fuck, I wish I could show it. Okay. It's not a real movie? That's perfect, though. Then this is a perfect satire. Okay? Listen to this. Stolz der Nation, or whatever, is a film in Inglourious Bastards. The film tells the tale of sniper Friedrich Zoller, who is seen as a hero by the Nazi administration. A young German soldier is holding off a large battalion of Allied soldiers from a church tower in a fortified city in Sicily. He manages to kill 250 enemy soldiers before they give up on the city, and then he carves a swastika into the wood. This movie, this fake movie, a perfect representation of fascist art. Flawless. You know why? Because I think Hitler is watching it, right, in the theater, and the movie is incredibly boring. It's literally just shot after shot after shot of a Nazi soldier taking a shot at an Allied soldier, ducking, reloading, getting up, firing again. It is literally nothing but multiple hours of, like, there's no, like, broader plot. There's no, like, there's nothing else. It's just nonstop. Like, he gets up, shoots some soldiers, they go, then he gets down for hours. They show Hitler, he's crying. He's tearing up because to him it's beautiful. But the joke is, in Inglourious Bastards, is that it's terrible art. Terrible. There's no filmmaking in it. There's nothing, because to the fascist, art is nothing more than a vehicle for political propagandizing. Now, all art is political, of course, but for them, that is its only purpose. You understand? This is what I mean when I say all art is gay. Because a fascist is constitutionally incapable of producing art outside of as a vehicle for, like, you want a good example? God is not dead. Any Christian propaganda movie or TV series, you ever wonder, if you ever seen these, Big Joel has a video on a few, you ever wonder when you watch those, why are these so bad? Like, is it not possible for them to hire a competent director and subtly interweave their messaging on, like, Christian persecution into, like, a broader narrative? No, they couldn't do that. Because their attitude towards art is one of contempt. It's not a matter of the quality of the director. You take a look at a Christian propaganda film and you think, why is it so unsubtle? Why is it so bad? These aren't flaws to them. These are selling points. You understand? We talk and we talk, oh, how can it be so dry? How can it be so devoid of value? Well, to them, that's fine. That's all art ever was to them. Oh, here's Nation's Pride. I can't play it because it's DMCA, but it's so funny in movie. Literally, it's the whole thing is just the one guy in the tower, like the whole, just shooting, carves a perfect swastika. Holy shit, I forgot how perfect that swastika was. Oh my god, that's fantastic. Yeah. Vosh, Adam Neely has a video on Christian rock, and they deliberately dumb down their musicianship so as not to appear arrogant in the face of God. Jesus Christ, that's bleak. Wouldn't you want to do your best to give glory unto God? Like, imagine if Catholics made a cathedral by, like, shitting in a pile and making a fucking poop castle out of it. Like, oh yeah, we wouldn't want to, like, disrespect God by being cool. Jesus. The whole fucking movie. God. Back when I was an evangelical, I used to purposefully sing off-pitch so as not to be arrogant in front of my Heavenly Father. Pussy shush. Is that true? Are you joking? Because I don't know with Christians. I don't know with evangelicals. I don't know if that's a joke or not. I don't. The Pope in the 1400s almost banned church choirs and complicated paintings for being too arrogant in the face of God. Jesus. Partially true, we used to hear that kind of shit, Vosh, in church. What the fuck? I was a kid, though. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Some fundamentalists think that musical talent comes from the devil. No, they really do. They really are like anti-life, aren't they? It really is the great battle of good versus evil, you know? There are Disney villains with less depth than like fascists by far. Like it's remarkable. Like they're like the anti-life. It's not even like we have different it's like, yeah, we hate fun and joy and goodness. Like their attitudes on life are antithetical to humanity. Like they in terms of like their political prescriptions, they might as well be like the space aliens who just want to destroy all humans. Like it's as complicated as that. It's remarkable. I haven't seen American Sniper, but I'm sure it's deeply fascistic. Oh, fun, Merrick. Have you ever heard of Skillet before? The restaurant? Yeah. My grandmother told me her parents believed that enjoyment in any form was a sin. I can't fucking believe Christians, man. I know that other religions do this too, but it's genuinely insane to me. Like, it's fucking wild. It's unbelievable. That's why I feel bad for them. Their project is destined to fail eventually. It's just not a sustainable social project. Yeah, I can't believe that like humans are made to create interesting things and to feel joy. And every once in a while you get a generation of like white guys who I don't know, have erectile dysfunction and they take it out on the rest of us and we have to go through 1 decade of just like severe repressive austerity on every level, and then when they like inevitably kill themselves in their bunkers, we get to try it over again. It's a great cycle. All right, moving on. We got way more shit to go over. We're never going to get to this Elon Musk stuff. The current Twitter files, TLDR, is that the FBI communicated with Twitter about election misinfo and swept up satire along with the real shit. Okay? I love the FBI doing stuff. So far, these Twitter files have been really fucking boring. There were 3 in a row that were all about the banning of Donald Trump, and their conclusion at the end of it was, did you know that moderation on Twitter is handled by a group of people who handle moderation, and that they were kind of nervous about banning a president? Like, it was 3 in a row that all, like, that was the shit. Literally, that was it. Between January 2020 and November 2022, there were over 150 emails between the FBI and former Twitter trust and safely Yoel Roth. Some are mundane, like San Francisco agent Elvis Chan, wishing Roth a happy new year, along with a reminder to attend our quarterly call next week. Others are requests for information into Twitter users related to active investigations. But a surprisingly high number are requests by the FBI for Twitter to take action on election misinformation, even involving joke tweets from low follower accounts. Oh, the FTIF. This was what the Intercept article was about. This is just that Intercept article, except being done several weeks later. This is literally just the Intercept. We should talk about Barry Weiss and Elmo fighting now. I swear to God, we're getting on that Elon shit. Let me just run through these links. Hold on. All right, what links have people given me? Let's clear through these, then we're going to do the fucking Elon saga, because so much shit happened in 24 hours. What is this?
Here's a drag show! Welcome to Weimar! Yeah, what happens next?
I'm always saying that. Thanks. Love that the most popular news pundit in America, it gets to just on air say, like, we're going to Nazi you. Super cool. Look at that. Child workers found throughout Hyundai Kia supply chain in Alabama. Oh shit. Didn't I get in trouble for making an analogy on this one before? Hmm. At least 4 major suppliers of Hyundai, Motor Co., and sister Kia Core have employed child labor at Alabama factories in the United States. Normally this stuff is happening in like Indonesia or something. We're bringing them home, lads. Trump said we're going to bring manufacturing home, and he meant it. We can look forward to a lot more of this if conservatives take power, by the way. They fucking love child labor. Matt Walsh has done long, like, libertarian car rants about how we're denying people freedom by not allowing 13-year-olds to work. Plant owned, a 14-year-old Guatemalan girl worked this May assembling auto body components, according to interviews with her father and law enforcement officials. At plants owned by Korean auto parts maker Edgen Industrial Company, the East Alabama town of Cuseta, a former production engineer told Reuters he worked with at least 10 minors. Cool. And 6 other ex-employees of Edgen said they, too, worked alongside multiple underage laborers. In 2 separate statements in the same PR firm, Huashen and Edgen said their policies forbid hiring any worker not of legally employable age. Using identical language, both companies said they hadn't, to the best of our knowledge, hired underage workers. The news follows a Reuters report in July that revealed the use of child workers, one as young as 12. Dude, what are you doing with a 12-year-old in a fucking auto plant? Literally, what are you doing? What possible fucking work could a 12-year-old be doing in a fucking auto plant? What are you just like sending them into like their tiny little hands to fix shit? Only a 13-year-old in this factory in Alexander City. Since then, as many as 10 Alabama plants that supply parts have been investigated for child labor. God damn. I like the zooming car. It's very funny to me. I love the car zoomy. Also, what a blighted fucking place. Jesus Christ. Is this the town in Pathologic? Look at this. This place looks incredibly cursed. Every single person who didn't say shit is culpable. Every single one of them is morally accountable. Yeah, 100%. The only reason stuff like this happens is because you don't have like a corporate culture where people immediately report that shit. If you're ever on the job and you see next to you a 13-year-old is working, you fucking call up any number of local or national, labor and work boards. And probably Google what the best one to call in your area would be. The discovery of child labor at additional plants in Hyundai's American supply chain could deal a fresh reputational blow to a company whose fast growth and popularity in recent years has led to it being the third largest automaker by U.S. sales. Jesus. The use of third-party staffing agencies is a common practice among manufacturers and other labor-intensive sectors throughout the United States. This is always how they do it. They do it like this everywhere in the world. Basically, like gigantic Western conglomerates need their shit produced, and they have it produced all over the world. You know, if you're making cars or Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck else, like you've got plants all over the place. It takes a lot of people to make an iPhone. And obviously, the way this works, it's all like low bid shit, you know? Basically, like you have basically you have Apple, right? Okay? Apple's at the top here. I'm going to draw a little apple. There. I drew a little apple. That's cute. Wait, I'm going to draw a little gleam. There we go. That's very cute, okay? You've got a little apple up there, right? Now, if you want to make an iPhone, you need like an ungodly amount of labor and material manufacturing and everything else. That's like how old iPhones looked, I guess. I guess modern iPhones just have like a little dip down here. No more manual buttons, Sag. Draw a worm coming out of it. Add a bite mark. No. Shh. Don't make this take longer than it has to, okay? Anyway, in order to make an iPhone, you need to you need an ungodly amount of work being done, okay? Now, Apple cannot single-handedly own every level of the supply process, right? Like own every single mining and farming company that produces and gathers the materials, and then they get refined, and then they get sent over to the factory, and then they get constructed, and then they get assembled and all that crap. Apple can't own all of that. I believe when they do own all of that, it's called vertical integration, where you make an effort to own every single step along the supply chain, so all of it is done in-house. But there's a reason why companies don't do that, okay? Apple might be at the very top of this system, but they benefit from costs being cut all the way down at the bottom. Now, the easiest way to cut costs is with slavery. Tried and true tactic. Now, if Apple engaged in vertical integration, that means that they would own the factories that are using slave labor. That's a big legal no-no. That's not good, okay? So instead what you do is you create an obfuscating wall of plausible deniability by making sure that all of the incredibly sussy shit is being done behind several barriers of, to the best of our knowledge, that's not happening, you know? So Apple might deal directly with some of these levels of vertical integration, but for other ones, they have third-party hiring companies that do this, to do that, to do this, to do that, and then eventually you make your way down to the bottom. So when inevitably, some child slave labor gets found, and U.S. investigators, start knocking on doors to ask what's going on, Apple gets to point at these guys, who get to point at these guys, who get to point at these guys, and of course it never makes its way back up here. But they know. They always know. You should always assume that whenever stuff like this is found out, the top-level corporation was aware of it. There's no reason not to. They might not be legally aware of it, but I think they're aware. The use of third-party staffing agencies is a common practice among manufacturers and other labor-intensive sectors throughout the U.S. The tactic has long been criticized by labor activists because it gives factory owners and other employers the ability to outsource responsibility for the screening, hiring, and regulatory compliance of their workforces. And there you go. Earlier this year, Reuters showed how staffing agencies in rural Alabama recruited undocumented workers from Central America, including minors who had entered the U.S. without parents or guardians, and supplied them to chicken processing plants. As with those minors, at least some of the children who worked at Hyundai suppliers used false identities and documentation obtained through black market brokers, sometimes with the help of staffing firms themselves. Understand how child labor took root in the supply chain is one of the world's most... Reuters interviewed more than 100 current and former factory workers and managers. Damn. They really went for it, huh? Now, this is real child grooming. It is. It's also, as far as I'm concerned, slavery. If these black market dealers are providing them fake documentation to work, they're essentially in a situation where they have literally no alternatives but to continue working there, even if they're paid for their work, and they're paid meager wages. They're children who are held coercively. They can't meaningfully consent to this situation to begin with, but adding on the fact that if they don't work, at best, they like fucking starve to death. It's like the Qatar slavery system. Yeah, where they take away the passports. It's basically the same situation. Yeah, threat of deportation. The U.S. Labor Department, in a court filing, said SL Alabama had repeatedly violated the law by employing oppressive child labor. It fined the company about $30,000. I love that. That's fantastic. I love that. 30,000. Dude, 30,000? That's so much. That's like a new car. Wow, these really are very bleak photos, aren't they? We have another zoomy car over here. See? It is zooming. A teenage cousin who worked at the factory with the brothers said no one at SL ever verified workers' ages. They didn't ask any questions, the cousin said. Yeah, of course not, because they knew they were using children, and if they asked explicitly, it would be on the books. You should probably explicitly state $30,000 is nothing for the sarcastically deaf. Yes, just to be clear, $30,000 is nothing. We're taking a look at the subsidiaries. Authorities first caught wind of child labor among automotive suppliers in early 2021. A school official in Alabama's rural Butler County told state officials some children, including one immigrant girl around 12 years old, appear to be working at Hoshin, the parts maker in Greenville. The manufacturer, which builds metallic body parts in a factory the size of 4 football fields, is now the biggest employer in a town once better known for cotton farming. There we go. Right on the money. Even as authorities were investigating, a 14-year-old migrant was recruited to factory Fort Washington. The girl's father said he and his daughter arrived in Alabama 4 years earlier after a long trek from Guatemala. The teen looks younger than her age. On a visit to their home, a small house shared with other migrants south of Greenville, Reuters met the girl, who was just over 4 feet tall, with rosy cheeks and a timid smile. Early this year, the father had been working poultry jobs. Troubled by the family's meager income and hoping to send money to family back in Central America, the girl, who wasn't attending school, asked her father if she too could get a job, he said. He agreed. I wish I had said no. As with many staffing firms, the ownership structure of JSS isn't entirely clear in public records. That's interesting. In a country with extremely extensive legal bureaucracy, that we would not have a clear ownership structure, almost as though they knew they were doing illegal shit the entire time and didn't want to have it pinned on anyone. When the Guatemalan girl's father contacted the recruiter, he said he asked whether his daughter's age would be an issue. No, the recruiter told him. On the black market, the girl's father procured a fake ID, seen by Reuters, that says she is an 18-year-old California resident. The name and picture on the card are the daughter's, but the birth year is phony. By May, the father said he and his daughter were both working at Hanshin, each earning about $11 an hour. If you're paying above the federal minimum wage, why would you not just hire adults? You could pay an adult $11 an hour. What is the point of this? Is it literally just because no, I mean, again, like literally just because they're evil. Yeah, okay, yeah, just literally like, oh yeah, we could hire an adult who could do more work for the same pay, but it would be more evil. The Hitler particles within me are telling me it would be more evil for us to instead hire a child to do the same work, less work even, for the same pay. Phenomenal. By the way, the economic situation here and all of this is a direct product of the fact that we do not give these immigrants a path towards citizenship. The fact that they live on the margins of society is the reason why they are abused in this fashion. They said that this girl wasn't even going to school prior to her being hired, even though she was of high school age. Probably, let's be real, barely literate if she hasn't been going to school but's been in America for 4 years. That's disgusting. It leads to a lot of sexual abuse. It leads to a lot of trafficking. It leads to a lot of slavery. And all of it could be prevented if we just opened up a path to citizenship. If we opened up a path to citizenship, millions and millions and millions of people would suddenly have the ability to directly and officially make contact with the U.S. government and be given the ability to seek help in situations where they're being victimized. Literally, all of these photos look so fucking blighted. It's like the universe itself is distorting reality around the child labor. Hey, Zan. Neat. Yeah, we got 2 more bits. We got to do the stuff that I actually talked about. I guess we're doing the Elon Musk thing last. It seems appropriate now to put that one out. One more thing to do in the meantime. So this is just a quick little aside. I don't have much to say about it because again, it's like really straightforward. You know, it's kind of open and shut. I've said a lot of stuff about the future of trans people in the United States and what Republicans want to do to trans people. Texas Attorney General sought data on gender changes to state IDs. Ken Paxton requested the Public Safety Department for the numbers, but was never given it due to accuracy problems. The office of Republican Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, for those of you who don't know, state attorney general means you have a very big dick, politically speaking. This summer sought data on how many people had changed the gender info on their driver's licenses, according to a newspaper report published on Wednesday that civil rights attorneys described as worrying. Paxton is under indictment? Yes. The Washington Post reported that public records obtained by the newspaper do not indicate why Paxton's office made the request to the Texas Department of Public Safety. The head of the driver's license division told colleagues in June to compile the total number of changes from male to female and female to male for the last 24 months. A DPS spokesperson told the Post no data was ultimately handed over because it could not be accurately produced. Cool. The DPS found over 16,000 gender changes over the past 2 years, but officials said a manual search would have been required to determine the reason for each one. According to records obtained by the Post, DPS staff members repeatedly referred to the request as coming from the Attorney General's office as they discussed attempting to narrow the data to include only licenses that have been altered to reflect a court-ordered change in somebody's gender. A verbal request was received, DPS spokesman Travis Considine told the Post. Ultimately, our team advised the Attorney General's office the data requested neither exists nor could be accurately produced. Thus, no data of any kind was provided. Brian Klosterbar, an attorney at the ACLU of Texas, said this request of info was highly unusual and a violation of privacy. We suspect this kind of data inquiry is an attempt to create info to further restrict and curtail the rights of transgender people living in Texas, Klosterbar told the Associated Press. Nice. Based protective incompetence, though? Yes, this is a fantastic bit of protective incompetence here. Not having a digitized and extremely, malleable registry on this information does, in fact, help our cause here. How do you get at this exactly? Look, I'm not saying people should stay in the closet if they live in red states. I'm genuinely not saying that. And I'm not saying this in a actually I'm saying that kind of way. I'm genuinely not saying that. I am saying, however, that as we move forward, depending on how far things go when it comes to the persecution of queer people, by Republicans federally and at a state level, generally speaking, the first people to be targeted are ones who have like a legal registry identifying them in the group that is being targeted. Obviously, in this case, even if the data wasn't procured specifically, that would be like people who have had court orders to allow for the change of their gender on their license. It's just something worth keeping in mind, Now, don't get me wrong, Texas AG Ken Paxton would 100% be pulling the switch on the gas chamber on you guys, given the chance. That guy is a fucking lunatic. Absolutely insane piece of shit monster human being. Not all like that, but it's something worth keeping in mind. Legit, I don't have that much to say on it, in large part because it is, it's just so straightforward, right? One reason the Holocaust was worse in Holland compared to France was that France had bad record keeping and didn't have the addresses of all the Jews in the country while Holland did. God damn. Yeah, well, that'll do it, I guess. This is one of the reasons why in England, their census is no longer keeping track of like some types of ethnicity, and I think there's some validity to that. Some census data is really important to gather, but the type of data that you get, the way in which you get it, the specificity of that data make a pretty huge difference in the case of any, long-term bad stuff. Vosh, normie political subs on Reddit were starting to use the G word in reaction to the story. I assume you mean genocide and not gay. It is pretty gay, but it's also genocidal. In France, the data doesn't include ethnicity today. Well, that's nice. Genocide is very gay. Yeah. AG can't pull all court orders, only cases relevant to active criminal cases. Well, I imagine that's why they made the request to the Department of Public Safety, who probably has a different, limitations. That being said, the Attorney General can realistically do like whatever they want, if they're really determined. A state AG has a lot of power, and it's reasonable to assume that, officially or otherwise, they probably have a lot of leeway when it comes to gathering information like that, depending on how much pull they have with the adjacent state departments. Even Hassan has said if you're LGBT, maybe buy a gun. Even the liberal Hassanabi has said if you're LGBT, maybe buy a gun. I say that keep your passport updated. Did he? We can assume. It's not good. Vosh, my mom listens to your streams while I'm watching you. Can you wish her a happy birthday, please? Happy birthday, Maximus's mom. There we go. Done a good deed here. Did he see this from the Lemkin Institute? Statement on the genocidal nature of the gender-critical movement's ideology and practice. No, I did not, but I fully agree with it. A ton of higher-ups in the gender-critical movement, you know, like prominent people in the yeah, up to and including J.K. Rowling, have essentially just said they don't want trans people to exist. It is a fully a fascist movement. It is a genocidal movement. Uh, you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I like how we enjoyed basically like a 2-year long period during which there was maybe some kind of social perception of there being like a socially liberal but concerned about women's sex-based rights movement. And we've now moved away from that, and now just like all TERFs are either explicit fascists or friends with all fascists. You know, like there's no ambiguity. Like literally every gender critical TERF, we're concerned about trans people group, are just completely and entirely in the fascist camp. No ambiguity whatsoever. J.K. Rowling is having a circle jerk sesh with a bunch of like British Nazis. You know, yeah, I like that. I like the lack of ambiguity. Yeah, they just have a few concerns. A final question, if you will. You like that? I like that, you know. Fuck, do we have to do the Elon thing? There's so much to retell here. Honestly, my hot take is that you should really, really get the fuck out of red areas literally as soon as possible. I do believe that, if possible, at the very least, you know, getting into a city, if you don't live in one, is a big step up. But failing that, blue states are going to be a lot safer than red states as things develop. Now, obviously, moving isn't practical for everyone. It's expensive, you know, no denying that, but it is, you know, if possible. Weren't things relatively chill for trans people in 2017 to 2018? What happened? Well, they weren't chill. They were chill compared to what's happening right now. We're just sort of coalescing around the fascist narrative of the era. You know, fascism requires an existential threat to society in order to justify the political extents it's willing to go to. And honest to God, if you had asked me like 6 years ago in 2016 where it was going to go, I would have said immigration. I would have said it was the border, you know? But Republicans barely talk about the border these days. Really, they don't. Like, it comes up now and again, but it is such a low, like, compared to the trans groomer panic or whatever, it is such a low level of priority. They've chosen what they're going to focus on. I actually wonder if the reason they've shifted from immigration to trans people is because they've realized that Latin voters are not as Democrat as they thought. 2016 and 2020 both saw a higher than expected number of Hispanic voters going to Trump. And that it makes me wonder if they've realized that in the long run, like, you're going to get more Republicans out of Latin voters than you will trans voters. And for that reason, it's probably more politically effective to structure the fascist moral panic around the group you're less likely to hold sway with in the future anyway. Smaller group, too. So, you know. Yeah, the immigration stuff comes up, but it's not the narrative focus, you know? Yeah. Fascism also works better with a secret threat from within. Yes, that's true. Trans people work much better as like there's a secret cabal of like liberal progressives destroying society. You can't really say that about illegal immigrants, you know. I mean, they would and they will, but it's a lot harder to push the narrative that secretly all of our educators and politicians and Hollywood and stuff are all like undocumented guys called Jorge who are sending remissions back to Mexico, and they're the ones grooming your children with Hispanic ideology? Maybe. No, they do talk about the great replacement stuff. I'm just saying the narrative focus is on trans people. I'm not saying they're letting up on immigrants, you know. I guess we can't put it off forever. We have to talk about the Elon Musk thing. I'm going to piss, then we're going to talk about that, the central segment of today, and then I'm going to read donos. Hey, for free? Without even a subscription? Oh my god. Ugh. What a big healthy piss. Yeah, guys, I tell you, I've said before, I'll say it again. Do we have any girls in chat? Where are the girls at? You know, girls won't tell you this secret, but I'll tell you for free, okay? Girls love it. They can hear a big healthy piss, all right? You go in the bathroom, they hear you, it sounds like a little tinkle. They're not here for it, okay? They're not into you. It's over. They hear a big strong piss. Yeah, they go for that. Really? Yeah. I can't disagree, unfortunately, but I am very angry about it. I'm telling you. I see. I tell these people they don't want to know. They don't want to know. It's too much for them. Too real for them. As a trans woman, I agree. It's everyone's getting in on this. Need to do some work on that water bottle, Vosh. Looking a bit full. Oh, I did have 2 cups of coffee as well. I mean, coffee is just water with like bean juice put on them. Hell yeah, I realized I trans so I can call myself a girl. Least homosexual VJGer. Yeah, that's true. That is how if you're a girl, you're a girl. That is how the math plays out. I want to have this open in case Elon takes it down. Fine, okay. Let me get a couple of links here. God, this is going to take a little while. Okay. I'm not great at being brief, and so much funny stuff has happened here that I feel like I could do bits about it for like hours. I'm going to try to condense this. Now, a responsible person, like say a professional live streamer, might have compiled a bunch of images and videos to kind of like lead you through all of this, but I am not that. You know, there's so much to go through. So I'm going to try to recap this as best as I can, all right? But we had a wild past 24 hours on Twitter. A truly spectacular series of events have taken place. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Listen, okay? Elon Musk, he's a guy who exists. Tragically. He owns Twitter. When Elon Musk acquired Twitter, he said that his commitment to free speech was so great that he was even not going to ban the Elon Musk flight tracker guy, who, for some reason that I still don't entirely understand, just posts what Elon's private jet is doing at any given point in time. Now, tracking jets, Elon Jet is the account, yeah. Now, tracking jets is not that difficult to do. You can usually track flights online pretty effortlessly, in large part because in order to fly, certainly to land at an airport, your transponder has to be communicating with an international network of flight radars and trackers. You don't want mid-plane collisions. We don't want a Breaking Bad season 2 finale situation going on. So, tracking where Elon Musk's private jet is at any given point in time, not actually that difficult, mainly just annoying for Elon. Now, all was well and good up until, I think 2 days ago now, where Elon Musk claims that he was accosted by somebody in a car. There was a video that he posted where there was somebody in a black... Does anyone have that video? There was somebody in a black mask, but not like a COVID mask, like a half balaclava or whatever, who apparently accosted Elon Musk, and Elon took a video of the guy and his license plate and was asking yeah, hey, does anyone know who this is? Apparently it was some weird adjacent, somebody tracked him down kind of dealio. I don't even know if this is real. It's not, you can usually assume pretty safely that if Elon Musk is doing or saying something, he's probably lying.
I'm not.
Yeah,
What's
for
your
sure.
name?
Gotcha.
What's your name?
So, as far as I can tell, as demonstrated by the video, Elon Musk saw a guy in the car or something. It wasn't him recording. He just lied. Is that what's happening? Bellingcat Discord member Sepulco geolocated the video Elon Musk posted overnight, claiming to show a stalker, which he used to justify the banning of accounts that track flight spoilers. It's at 34. Oh my god. Holy shit. 30. Okay, it's at these exact coordinates in LA, I guess. Not close to any airports. Okay, let's just roll on the side of Elon Musk is lying because it's Elon Musk and he lies all the time. Okay, so basically, Elon Musk said he wasn't going to ban the flight tracker guy, but then somebody somewhere took a video of a car. Elon Musk then said, oh, I actually am going to ban the flight tracker guy. We're gonna get on in there, okay? And then what happened, and this is spectacularly wacky, okay? Elon Musk then banned a cavalcade of liberal, progressive, sometimes even moderate journalists who covered the story of him banning the flight tracker guy, claiming that by referring to the incident that took place, they were doxing him. This is how he described that. They posted my exact real-time location, basically assassination coordinates, in obvious direct violation of Twitter terms of service. So to be clear, this is banning journalists, all of whom politically disagree with Elon, coincidentally. A lot of people covered the ban of the flight tracker guy, but somehow the bans only affected left-leaning journalists. Because they covered a story of a guy getting banned who previously used publicly available information in order to track his flights. Now, Elon claims this is doxing. I want to be clear. Whether or not something is doxing is it's really ambiguous, Some people say that doxing it can't be doxing if the info is publicly available. I don't really think that's true. I think you know, if maybe if somebody's address has been doxed before, so it's publicly available, but then like you start posting it everywhere again, I would still say that's doxing, even though it was already previously unavailable. You know, some people say it's doxing to give a person's full name when before they only used an internet pseudonym, like what happened with Libs of TikTok. But that's also investigative journalism. So it's like, okay, is it doxing to give a person's address? Well, usually, yeah. But rich people tend to live in multi-million-dollar homes, the addresses of which are public knowledge. So is that doxing? Probably not. I want to be clear. Nobody, as far as I am aware, has ever referred to flight tracking as doxing because that is insane. People track celebrity flights all the time. Oh my God, this celebrity is going over here. Oh my God, they're doing this. Oh, they're heading over here. The idea that just reporting on the general location of a celebrity and ultra wealthy person is doxing is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. But not only did he go back on what he had previously said and ban the flight tracker guy, he then banned a handful of progressive journalists who reported on it. Here are some of them. It's going down. Anti-fascist reporting. Oh, by the way, just for funsies, he banned the Mastodon official Twitter account, and then he made it so that Mastodon links to certain people's Twitter Mastodon accounts are listed as malware. So the Mastodon account for the Elon flight tracker guy is listed by Twitter as malware and cannot be posted. There were a couple of Mastodon affiliate links that you literally could not post them. It wouldn't just warn you; you could not post them. Twitter would remove the link to it. So we had those. Aaron Rupar, huge account. Drew Harwell, Donnie O'Sullivan, Ryan Mack, Matt fucking Binder, friend of the show, Annie Webster, Michael Lee, Keith Olbermann, my man Keith, Steve Herman, Masawa Center. There are far more. This is just one short list. So, Elon Musk said he was going to free speech warrior his way through Twitter ownership. After what appears to be a completely fabricated video or interaction or something that he posted, he then went back on that, changed the rules on a whim, banned the account, and then banned a ton of left-leaning journalists under the guise that they were then disseminating his docs, his assassination coordinates. The idea of him, like, palling around with Libs of TikTok, which is literally a doxing account. It exists entirely to draw public attention to the private information of people with the intent of getting like harm done to them. But then, you know, this happens. Truly ridiculous. But the fun doesn't stop there, okay? We're actually nowhere near done here, okay? Because a Twitter space got made the other night. See, it turns out that Twitter is exactly as full of bugs as a service run by Elon Musk, you know, you would expect them to be. Because banned accounts can make Twitter spaces and join them. Not sure how that happens. I actually joined this. I was spamming the let me speak button the entire time. I joined. There were like 30,000 people in here. It was made by some of the banned journalists and some other people who were talking when Elon Musk joined. Now, oh, sorry. It was playing, but not audio. Okay. Now, again, let's fully like build the context here. Okay. This is a group hangout with a ton of people being headlined by a collection of banned journalists who were banned on flagrantly false pretenses. Then Elon Musk, free speech warrior, shows up. Let's see what happens next.
In the last few hours with a handful of journalists being banned.
Well, as I'm sure everyone who's been doxxed would agree, showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate, and I think everyone on this call would not like that to be done to them. And there's not going to be any distinction in the future between journalists, so-called journalists, and regular people. Everyone's going to be treated the same. You're not special because you're a journalist. You're a Twitter. You're a citizen. So.
Because we so rarely hear him speak, it is important to remember that Elon Musk is deeply insecure and very uncharismatic. I was in the call when this happened. I recognized his voice. I actually, this is not a joke. I realized he was speaking not because of his voice, but because I got curious to look at my phone to see who this new person was, because the least charismatic person on the call suddenly started speaking. The other people who were talking were all journalists. They have some degree of charisma. And then I hear this like sweaty, like hair plugs liquefying in his pores, like, you know, fucking rat start talking. And I look and I think like, who now? And I saw it was Elon fucking Musk. Okay. So of course they ask him, the journalists, you know, they ask him, well, so what is it with you banning all these journalists for doing literally nothing? Elon Jet is here. The original guy, Elon Jet, is here. And by the way, it was very funny listening to him talk because there were other people in the call who were like, Elon Jet, why do you like posting where Elon's Jet is so much? And he was like, I like it. It's just fun. I just like doing it. They're like, have you ever considered not doing it? And he's like, no, it's like America and that's freedom. So I'm just going to keep doing it, I think. Really, literally, that's what he was like. Absolutely fantastic. Nah, I'm good.
No special treatment. You dox, you get suspended. End of story. So ban evasion, or trying to be clever about it. Like, oh, I posted a link to the real-time information is obviously that is obviously simply trying to evade the meaning. There's no different than actually showing real-time information.
So when you're saying posting a link to it, I mean, some of the people like Drew and Ryan Mack from the New York Times who were banned were you know, they were reporting on it in the course of sort of pretty normal journalistic endeavors. You consider that like a tricky attempt at ban evasion?
You show the link to the real-time information, ban evasion, obviously.
Drew, I don't think you were posting the real time.
So keep in mind that not only is what he's saying stupid, it also makes no sense. Posting a link to information is ban evasion? It entirely makes no sense.
Time information, right?
I mean, you're suggesting that we're sharing your address, which is not true, and you're suggesting that we're posting. We never. I never posted your address.
You posted a link to the address.
We posted a link. In the course of reporting about Elon Jet, we posted links to Elon Jet, which are now not online and now banned on Twitter. And Twitter also, of course, marks.
So yeah, his argument here is that adding an account that has done something ban-worthy is now itself ban-worthy. Like if an account, like, so what he's saying, if there is an account that has done something and you post a tweet that ats them and they get banned for doing the thing they did, you would now get banned for adding them. That is the actual thing that he's saying here.
Even the Instagram and Mastodon accounts of Elon Jet as harmful, using, you know, we have to acknowledge, using the same exact link blocking technique that you have criticized as part of the Hunter Biden New York Post story in 2020. So what is different here and there?
No more acceptable for me. It's no more acceptable for me, for you, than it is for me. It's the same thing. So anyway.
So it's unacceptable what you're doing.
And then he leaves. And then he just leaves. This guy brings up like, hey, everything you're doing is exactly the stuff you've criticized. And then he goes, and he leaves. And he goes to like go sweatily chew on some wires, I guess. Unbelievable. Like, the thing that makes Elon special is that, generally speaking, people this wealthy usually have the good sense to not, like, not just like with no prep spaghetti their way through this. The equivalent of this would be literally like if a bunch of union organizers against Amazon were having a Twitter space and then Jeff Bezos show up and like sweatily was like, right to work, we treat our workers fairly. They're like, how do you respond to the accusations that you're having people shit in Chinese takeout boxes in order to meet production scheduled deadlines? And he's like, fuck you, and then he leaves. Like, that's literally the level we're at here. Okay, but let's finish this bit. Chat, no spoilers. We're not even done with this, okay? Hold on.
For me, it's no more acceptable for me, for you, than it is for me. It's the same thing. So, anyway.
So it's unacceptable what you're doing?
He just says anyway, and then leaves.
No, what you dox, you get suspended, end of story. That's it.
Wait, is he still here? Or does he leave the next sentence?
Doing?
No, what you dox, you get suspended, end of story. That's it.
Elon, I have to ask, I mean, I think
Wait, is he still here? He leaves down the line? No, he disappears, but he takes a second more. Oh, wait, does he leave, then rejoin, then he leaves again in a second? Okay, he might leave twice then. Hold on. Okay, he left and rejoined. Maybe he fat-fingered it? Okay, well, he leaves it. Okay, hold on.
One reason, it's highly unusual for journalists at the Washington Post and the New York Times to have their Twitter accounts suspended. And it just so happens that it's, you know, the boss in charge, you know. So, you know, what's the deal there? Oh, I think Elon has left.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So he mid-sentence left, quickly returned, said, you're not different, and then left again before anyone else could start. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I forgot the interjection there, the stunted leave. My apologies. And now he's gone.
I guess
that's unfortunate because
the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
guess what the difference is there.
You know,
man,
not
I
trying
had
to.
so many. I was raring to go, guys.
I know, I was too.
I was gonna order a
Debate bros. Debate bros stay winning. Listen, the debate bro instinct is like festering in these guys. You know, they're like, Elon Musk shows up and they're all like, yes, I have so many questions I want to ask you. Beats within our hearts, you know? Okay, so then shortly thereafter, the Twitter space gets shut down. In fact, all Twitter spaces get shut down. After fleeing that Twitter space, Elon hits the gigantic red button that says, stop all Twitter spaces. It's not a joke. That's not a joke. He hit he chewed the red wire, basically. He's sweating nervously on his phone in the space. He leaves. He runs and dives into the server room and starts gnawing away at all the red wires until he cuts the one that lets Twitter Spaces function. He says that he turned them offline to fix a legacy bug. Something tells me that it was not, in fact, a regular scheduled, maintenance need that caused him to do something that would, unprompted, take off all Twitter Spaces like 4 minutes after a group of journalists were lambasting him, you know? I assume the legacy bug he wanted to fix was the ability for suspended accounts to create and to join Twitter Spaces, which, to be fair, that is a pretty wild bug. However, again, ulterior motives. Wacky stuff. Someone told me the reason suspended accounts can still join Spaces is because that feature is built on the old Periscope backend, and if an account is old enough to predate Periscope, it treats it like a separate account from Twitter. Interesting. Very convenient. They broke the like button. Yeah, apparently they broke quite a few things. Okay. Incredibly, we're still not done, okay? Now, who remembers Elon Musk? Okay, so Elon Musk, for, let's be clear, no reason whatsoever, apart from petty power grabbing, bans a bunch of liberal journalists off Twitter, all right? Now, my man, my public polling man over here, okay? He throws out a goddamn poll. You've seen it before. What does he say? Vox populi, vox dei, or whatever. Unsuspend accounts who doxed my exact location in real time. So this is an objective lie. This right here, a factual lie. They added an account that had that tracked the public data of where his plane was. And then he has 4 things: now, tomorrow, 7 days from now, and longer. And then, unbelievably, the poll, despite Elon Musk's following being what it is, actually came out with a 5-point lead in favor of now. You'll never guess what he did. He nulled it and posted another one. Literally. The first poll didn't get the outcome that he liked, so he just closed it and made another one, which is now, with 5 hours left, 17 points in favor of unbanning them right now. Lost by a far larger margin. Stop the recount. It's the fucking Alabama recount memes. It came out even further ahead. Or Arizona recount. Jesus, 3.4 million. Truly fantastic. Absolutely fantastic shit. The Patriots are in control. Absolutely. The space convo gets even worse. More info popped up. Incidentally, the guy who dropped in the Twitter space last night and worked hard to carry water for Elon Musk appears in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book. Oh yeah, I saw that. The fucking Elon simp. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, careful. It's doxing to post the Epstein black book. Anyway, it's all an unimaginable shit show. But like capped off with the poll didn't go the way I wanted, so I'll do another one. I wonder what he'll say. Like, will he unban them after 5 hours are up? Or will he do another poll with just one option that says 7 days? Or just, I don't know. He just unbanned them? Oh, did he just unban them? Hold on. Matt Binder. Matt Binderino. Matt Binder. Boop, boop. Nope. Fake news. My man Matt. Where he at? He still got blat blat. Can you talk about the ethics of continuing to use Twitter? Use Twitter if you want. Don't the liberal obsession with boycotting has never been more limp and ineffectual than it is when talking about protesting a social media monolith used by hundreds of millions of people by not using it. Your actions have no impact here. Do whatever you want. Wikipedia is referring to this as the Thursday Night Massacre, referring to the suspension of the accounts of several high-profile journalists that occurred on December 15th on the social media network Twitter. Is Matt Binder listed here? No, he's not in the top billing. The suspensions were condemned by representatives of France, Germany, the UK, the UN, the EU, the European Commission, and others. God came down from his throne in heaven to personally condemn the night of the long tweet. Yeah. Twitter suspension of journalists sets dangerous precedent. UN warns. Fantastic. Pig news. UN is very disturbed by Trump's abrupt suspension of a group of U.S. journalists. A spokesperson said, warning the move sets a dangerous precedent, as the EU said the social media platform could fall foul of forthcoming digital regulations. Yeah, the EU is going to fucking annihilate Twitter. At least I hope it will, because apparently they've been violating a lot of rules on this sort of thing. Even Barry Weiss criticized Elon Musk for this. The old regime at Twitter governed by its own whims and biases, and it sure looks like the new regime is the same problem. I oppose it in both cases, and I think those journalists who were reporting on a story of public importance should be reinstated. Barry Weiss, one of the people who did the Twitter files drops. Do you have any idea how objectionable Elon Musk's behavior has to be for Barry fucking Weiss to object to it? Like, one of the people, like, days after holding one of the Twitter info drops. Insane. Oh yeah, apparently his recent behavior is is threatening his position as Tesla CEO. Here, so I'm finding the story. There's a growing chorus among Tesla's bulls saying that if Elon Musk is busy at Twitter, the car company's board of directors should be looking to have someone else at the wheel. Yeah, it's Tesla's not doing too hot right now. Aren't we at a 2-year low? It's a 2-year low, right? Yeah, yikes. Ooh, down and down and down and down and down it goes. Oh, man. Imagining buying Tesla stock in late 2021. Ooh. The line does indeed go down, my friends. Ooh, yep, 2-year low. It is true, though. I think Elon owns something like 17% of Tesla's stock, which means, you know, it's not a controlling interest. And he's really not fulfilling his fiduciary responsibility at all as Tesla's CEO. You know, the CEO is legally obligated to work to maximize profits, and all he's been doing is tying Tesla's stock price to his reputation while tanking his own reputation in the public eye. He's so hyper-fixated on getting applause for being conservative best boy that he's bringing the company down with him, which is a violation of his legal responsibility. Okay, yes, I see the links, I see the tweets. Thank you, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. God damn, yeah, even Ben Shapiro, a very rare W from the man. As a person with 24/7 security to protect my family, I'm highly sympathetic to Musk's attempt to quash doxing, but doxing typically refers to people's real-time location, not speculating about publicly available flight info. Oh, wait! Ben Shapiro here links to one of the banned journalists, who himself linked to the Elon Musk's flight tracker account. Shouldn't Ben Shapiro be banned for spreading dox info? So in short, I'm against the Twitter suspension, even for garbage pseudo reporters like Rupar. Damn, even Shapiro. Here we have him responding to a criticism from AOC with the grace and sagacity of a 13-year-old. You're a public figure, an extremely controversial and powerful one. I get feeling unsafe, but descending into abuse of power plus erratically banning journalists only increases the intensity around you. Take a beat and lay off the proto-fascism. Maybe try putting down your phone. You first, lol. No you. I'm always saying that. And the Elon response to Barry Weiss. Rather than rigorously pursuing truth, you are virtue signaling to show you're good in the eyes of media elite to keep both foot in one foot in both worlds. Incredible. Elon Musk, like several days after giving her the ability to do the Twitter drop, is like, yeah, wow, you're actually like virtue signaling as a grifter, you know? Which, to be fair, yes, Barry Weiss does do that, but of all the people to point that out, and in which direction to point that to, it's like the Trump White House in terms of the constant backstabbing, you know, the non-stop fighting. My God. Update, you can't take a look at some politicians' Twitters or sites from Twitter. Twitter is now attempting to prevent its users from navigating to the official social media accounts of elected officials on other platforms. Yeah, no, literally. They're banning Mastodon links. This might actually like run into illegality. I'm pretty sure there are some laws that prevent the level of like anti-competitor engagement where it's to the point of like full out banning access to other it's like the same logic of like a telecommunications company or like a phone company banning out dials to like their opponent's network or like call centers or something. Like if you it'd be like if you had AT&T and you literally could not call like any Verizon company number with your phone using their thing. It's called anti-steering. It's an antitrust law. One of the few we still have, I guess. Isn't the EU already coming down on Elon for other stuff? Yes. Much like Donald Trump, you know, it's very frustrating, but something might happen at some point, you know? Like, you don't rely on regulatory systems to crunch billionaires, but I do feel like they're doing enough shit that eventually the hammer might come down on them. NBC News suspended reporter Ben Collins from appearing on NBC and MSNBC following his critical tweets about Elon Musk, including one in which he mocked the Twitter CEO for only discovering who his company deputy general counsel was 6 weeks after he purchased it. They just suspended Ben Collins. Why massively cuck behavior. Germany might hammer his ass. I love it when Germany hammers my ass. Twitter lost a lawsuit in Germany. It breaks German law with failures to implement minimum processes against hate speech. It's obligated to seek out and act on unreported hate speech. It's legally liable for failing to act on even URL-free reports. Damn. Let's get this in German. Hell yeah, dude.
Ich bin hier im Haus der Geschichte in Stuttgart und wir haben heute um 10 Uhr das Urteil
I'm always saying this.
erhalten vom Landgericht Frankfurt. Und das Gericht kam zum Ergebnis, dass Dr. Blume Recht hat und Twitter Unrecht hat. Genauer gesagt, Twitter verstößt gegen deutsches Recht in seinen unzureichenden Bemühungen.
Das ist verboten! Nein, nein, nein! The many Hitlers over at Germany are pounding their fists, and the thing they want to put a final solution to is hate speech. They're doing it. It's finally happening, lads. Full horseshoe theory. They're opening up the chambers, and they're admitting into it hateful tweets. Anna Kasparian has a good tweet on why Elon bans people. Small dick energy? Yeah, true. Elon coping about Tesla? Very cool thing for a wealthy person to say. Tesla is executing better than ever. We don't control the Federal Reserve. That's the real problem here. I have no idea what message this is supposed to what the fuck does that even mean? I don't. It's not our fault. We just don't have enough power. Wir lieben den Wasch people hug. Guten Tag. Oh wait, no. Mucho gusto. Wait. Danke. Schon. There we go. Gotcha. Oui, oui. Is this stream all ages? This stream is highly discouraged for young people. Do not watch. What is this? Normal men don't feel comfortable in churches for the same reason they don't want to linger in the women's clothing section at a store. It feels overly feminine. True. Isn't being in a church all about, like, submitting to God? That sounds pretty feminine to me. I don't know. Yeah, I don't buy it. Sorry. Why are you an atheist? Oh, yeah, I'm just too masculine to believe in God. Yeah, getting on your knees for God while praying? Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like a woman's job. Not really my deal. So religious people are all bottoms? Unironically, yes. Wow, we got some donations to read. We did it, guys. We got through like 6 segments in a row without dono reads. And what with me being such a greedy guy, you know it was hard for me. Let's give it a fucking go. Pero Luchadora, thank you for the $5. Yeah, he just wanted to visit Little St. James without anyone tracking him. Antifa Private with $5, thank you. Vosh, have you heard of the latest news in the Stop Cop City Atlanta Forest Defenders? It's a long name. People got nabbed under domestic terrorism charges in a police raid. I've heard about it, don't know a lot about it. We'll probably look into it in a future stream. This one's going to have to be a bit shorter than usual because, unfortunately, I have a lot of work to do in the back end. And by work, I mean depressively playing More Grounded, the video game. But I also mean work. Bontux, thank you for the $10. Even when moving to blue states, be mindful of where. Temecula, CA just banned CRT in its school district. The cheaper housing in blue states, often a red area. Yeah, California has more Republican voters than like Texas does. You know, it's a huge state with. I'm just saying, wouldn't move to Orange County. Facetious. Thank you for facetious. Ah, gotcha. Thank you for the gifted tier 2 sub. Happy birthday to Maximus's mom. True. Carson Harvey, thank you for the incredibly kind $20. I really appreciate that. It is insane how fast full tilt Nazi many conservatives have gone in such a short time. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor, and now my family's trying to get our German citizenship to escape Nazism. Irony alert, I know. Yeah, maybe every country just trades off on who gets to be Hitler today, you know? It just keeps cycling around, you know, so you have to keep ahead of them. Thank you, I really appreciate it. What's this? Okay. Kath Perov, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that. The Bread Boy, thank you for the $5. I'm not live, but on bad media made by fascists and Christians. One good examples, folks. Check out the God Awful Movies podcast. It's their whole thing. That sounds like fun. I might look at that. God Awful Movies podcast, yeah. Remember, fascists are the enemies of art and life. You know? A lot of people frame fascism as a kind of trade-off, you know, a sort of social austerity, but there are certain benefits, you know, like certain you know, reignitions of the human condition, and they're lying to you. Life was brutal, miserable, and deprived for white Aryan Germans under Nazis. Anyone who says otherwise is lying. The only people who did well under Nazi Germany were the same people who did well before. Well, fewer people, actually, far fewer, but ultra-wealthy people and the political elites. That's it. Those are the people who did well under Nazi Germany. And you know what? If you want ultra-wealthy people and the political elite to do well, you can just go to any place on Earth. Wouldn't it be cool to make a Rocky Horror parody of fascists? We already have that. It's called The Producers. Oh, real. Thanks to the tier 1 sub. True. Sake, thank you for the 4 gifted tier 1 subs. I really, really appreciate that. It's almost as if, given the current climate of the GOP trying to kill every LGBTQI plus person, Vosh's original stance on kink and pride might be correct. No. My stance on kink and pride, as it stands, and the best version of my original position, was just that. I think that a large and centrally available portion of all pride events should be, like, unambiguously child-friendly. That's it. I don't mind there being stuff that's less child-friendly. I just think that there should be, like, a broadly accessible central block of stuff that you can just very unambiguously go to and get and they already are. And Vermin is completely correct. With very few exceptions, overwhelmingly, the like main Pride event and any kind of like city pride is gonna be like have some like have like here I don't know here's like a hot pretzel. Here's your pride flag you can wear as a cape. Here's a booklet on what it means to be gay. Completely unobjectionable shit. Yeah, it's just a bunch of homos in face paint. Yeah, they love doing their face paint. Yeah. Tie-dye t-shirts, whatever. Unhinged Jaw, thank you for the $5. Bruh, imagine having to pass your 13-year-old coworker on the way to the water cooler. You think places that have child slave labor have water coolers? Those motherfuckers are tilting their heads up to the sky with their mouths open when it rains. Most I've ever seen at the Seattle Pride Parade is nude cyclists. That's a different thing. The nude cyclist thing in Seattle isn't the like main Pride thing. It's its own event. It's been going on the Fremont thing for ages. Atson with the 20 Australian. Have you watched Brawl in Cell Block 99 or Bone Tomahawk, made by something of a fascist S. Craig Zahler? Former is kind of anti-abortion and the latter is pro-Indian genocide, but they're pretty undeniably very good films. No, I haven't seen them. So I can't attest to their quality. It is, of course, possible for far-right people to produce good media, but the system crushes it to dust. Like a good example of this would be that conservatives tend to be really fucking unfunny, but Sam Hyde, a Nazi, is, or at least was, pretty goddamn funny. Yeah, they're doing so against the odds. They're taking a long shot, Galley. Taxon Man with the $10. You've made some good jokes against Paradox games before. Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings. Care to explain your derision? First of all, the fan bases for those games are insufferable. They're all trans girls or fascists. That's one. And for two, I just don't like those types of games. I think my main concern is that they make people insufferable because a lot of these people, a lot of these people are like the kinds of guys who say that they're history experts when in reality they just know like 87 different types of tanks that the Nazis made in World War II. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? No, I saw your text, Vermin. Yeah. We'll head out immediately. Devin San Luis, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. There was a big effort to try to make Walt Disney German so they didn't have to ban his movies in the 40s, even an attempt to forge a German ancestry. That's incredibly funny. Welcome to the world. Thank you for the $5. Charlotte96, the $5. If modern Christian art is so terrible, what makes older Christian architecture and art so much better? Because they commissioned homosexuals. It'll have to be tomorrow, Tempest. Definitely not today. You know, it's like the Sistine Chapel. You know, it's you know you get the gays to do it. Eduardo CA, thank you for the 20 rubles. Really appreciate that. Hello, Vosh. I left the right after seeing my friend go down the Tradcath rabbit hole and how this has made him distance himself from our friend group. Since then, I started watching you and you really changed my views. Aw. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Very, very happy to, very privileged to be able to do that at all. Randy, thanks the $10. Hey Vosh, do you think a rise in unions could help bring about another New Deal era due to unions having more money to fund candidates? Possibly, but we're not at that point right now. We're a while away from a new union era, I'm afraid. Agron, thank you for the tier 3 sub. Been wanting to know your thoughts on the drag show age discourse, and your take is exactly what I hoped it would be. It's true, Vosh takes Rory's right. Hell yeah. Hey Vosh, you've been able to donate to BV22 yet? Fuck! I still haven't done that! Fuck. Okay, I promise I'll do it later today. I keep forgetting. Thank you for reminding me. Schemaz. Vosh, please. Hey, Tempest, how often do I forget to pay you and Ryan on time? Pandagal, thank you for the $5. Ripley McAllister, thank you for the 2. Cyclopic Blast, thank you for the 5. Love how we get. Shut the fuck up, Tempest. You want to go by the average rate of editors in the YouTube scene? Cyclopic Blast, thank you for the $5. TV Fathers, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Randy with the $2, really appreciate that. Galley with the gifted tier 1 sub, thank you, I appreciate that. Title Punk Roller Girl, thank you for the $5. I also hate rich people. Juff01, thanks the tier 1 sub. Crimson Kamina and A Divinus, thank you for the $2 both. Very kind of you. Arlo A, thank you for the $5. I live in Texas and I'm a trans person. While terrified, I'm made slightly more happy because of the fact that Ken Paxton looks like an orc from Lord of the Rings. I do remember him looking pretty fucking grungly. Yeah, I see it. Oh, speaking of grungly and orcs, I finally finished Primal, Gen Tartovsky or whatever his name is, Primal. I'd never actually seen it, but I watched it with Vermin the other day, and goddamn, it's so fucking good. It's so much better than I thought it would be. It elevates. Yeah, it's so fucking good. Super dope. Shame about the last episode. No spoilers, but I didn't mind the last episode. You gonna get Returnal when it comes to Steam? Probably. I wanted to play that. I was disappointed when I saw it was console only. Okay. Shadow Angel, thank you for the $5. Toriyama was let loose for the Boo Saga. He almost quit after Cell because editors kept making him do stuff. Yeah, Shonen Jump fucks with you, man. Dan29A, thanks to the tier 1 sub. Weeb Spec, thank you likewise. Supermarket Zombies, thank you for the 3 consecutive $5 donos. Armored Core is everything you care about. Extreme difficulty, oppressive resource management, insane control layout that forces you to have claw hands, and gay. You're tempting me. Maybe I'll play some of the older ones to prepare. SCI EXC with the $5. People be like, Vosh media takes bad, but the sci-fi gender talk and the cyberpunk talk demonstrates chat 90% of the time has absolutely terrible media analysis. True! 100% true. And Linkbin, thanks the tier 1 sub. Ava Fan, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that. Slaps Hungry Bears, thank you likewise. Almost didn't sub after that absolutely stupidly long drag show bit, but I wanted to say dicks. Also, drag shows are cringe as fuck for ace people. Drag shows are cringe generally. I've always said this, but I really feel like drag shows represent the absolute nadir of cultural adolescence for the LGBT community. You're really telling me that the LGBT community, which comprises, let's be real, like 99% of artists in the United States at least, like the best cultural celebration we can think of for them is like these bottom tier, like cringy, like sex pinup fashion lines where a bunch of people prance around in, let's be also real, often not very good outfits. I'll hold to this. Drag shows are nostalgia attachment to the 1980s because queer people are all hipsters. Yeah, no, literally. It's like, it's the, I swear to God, drag isn't for everyone. Look, I'm fine with trashy shit. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's all bad. I'm just saying, like, goddamn, it's just weird to me that that's like the apex of like queer cultural representation, you know? It's like so it's so sad you've only been to shitty cringe. Shut the fuck up. I've been to more than you could ever fathom. I've been to billions, all right? Do you guys not do you guys not agree? Like how when you could think of like a queer event, like drag show is the queer event. That is the thing. And it's like a bunch of cis white gay dudes in their 30s prancing around in outfits being annoying. There's got to be more. What's wrong with that? Haha. Okay, it's like it's about being put in a bubble. Okay? Yeah, it's almost done, Vermin. I said 3 or shortly after. You're flying too close to the sun here. Hey, if I can do media critique. Okay. It's like... How do I put this? Okay. We're not even going to try. Here's the 2 points. For one, drag is annoying. You may think there are some good bits. There are good bits of everything. It's broadly annoying. Shut the fuck up. You can do it if you want. Free country, but it's annoying. That's number one. For two, and this is the big one to me, I hate that the apex of expressive queer culture is nothing more than the performative demonstration of queerness. That to me is like so juvenile and so low IQ that it blows my mind. It would be like if what we considered the apex of straight culture to be literally just like guys on stage being super straight and doing their best like Ronald Reagan impressions, or they're all trying to be like John Wayne or something. Like a stage where a bunch of people just act like John Wayne. It's like, yeah, this is the apex of straight. It's like, no, it's not. If you think of like really straight cultural stuff, like you can go to like NASCAR, or like there's a bunch of shit you can go to, but at least it's like stuff other than just a bunch of people on stage screaming, "We are straight, we are straight, we are straight," which, let's be fair, is a lot of what drag shows are. It is people just going up on stage screaming, "We are gay, we are gay, we are gay." And it's very, very loud, and it's very unsophisticated. And honest to God, camp is not as cute as people seem to think it is. Like, camp is interesting when it's being done in a self-critical fashion, or when it's being done interestingly, but camp for the sake of camp is just camp. I don't know when, like, if you go back to like the 1980s or whatever, there's what's that documentary, Paris is Burning, where they talk about drag as a kind of like subversive cultural expression, you know? And the camp is a way of like, or that Contra video where it's like a opulence. It's like a way of like sarcastically representing a degree of like performative social wealth and power that they could never actually obtain. But now I don't feel like it really is meant to represent that much, so much as it is the audacity of just doing the loud thing, which comes across as very annoying. It's because white twinks got into it. White twinks were always into it. Whatever. I just don't like it. It's a free country. Do what you want. Airlock with the tier 3 sub. Thank you very much. Vosh lib. True. Good thing you're not being forced to watch them, Vosh. Now shut up and end stream. Oh, yeah, so I can't critique any media, because you can just turn on something else. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, shut up. Let me finish this. Unhinged Shaw, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. Ripple, thank you for the $5. Sorry, no Linkarinos right now. I love you, though. Clefairy, thank you for the tier 2 sub. Congratulations on your move, your upcoming move to Illinois. I'm glad your apartment's a good fit for you. Slabs Hungry Bears, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Minesinch, thank you for the tier 4 sub. I really, really appreciate that. Hey, Vosh, here's some money. Going to visit family in Peru over Christmas. Now they have announced a state of emergency. Wish me luck. Yeah, good luck. We need to talk about the Peru thing. Yeah, we do. We need to talk about that soon. Yeah, Vermin, holy shit, I have a job. Fucking jobless, this fucking hobo in my house, Vermin Hands. Like, oh yeah, get off your highly lucrative, extremely influential stream so I can fucking... Shut up. Bricklayer with the tier 2 sub. How the hell is the apex of gay expression the emulation of cis women for the mid-1900s? Cis women from the mid-19... I don't think it's that necessarily. I don't know. I'm just not impressed by camp. I'm just not. I'm not impressed by camp. Call me Craig with the $5. Longtime viewer, first time catching a live. Have you ever covered your opinions on the third way? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Sake with the 4 gifted tier 1 subs. Top line, because bottoms and bottom lines are bad. Vosh is and always has been right. Disagreeing with him is and always has been a sign of mental illness. True! Literally true. Absolutely. Chase Hall, the $2. I live in MTG's district and I'm Jewish. Help me. Start doing very un-Jewish things to throw off the scent, okay? Be unfunny. Bilbo with the $5. Trans woman from Texas here moving to the West Coast in March. Will locals understand what is happening / why so many of us are showing up, or are they unaware? I think a lot of people are catching on. Tony, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I look forward to the email. That guy named Ray, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Hey, Vosh, 2 weeks ago I trauma dumped about my fundy family. You didn't trauma dump. I've officially told them that if they want to be in my life, they need to meet me on my terms now. I feel so much more sane. Thank you. I'm really happy to hear that. Fuck yeah. You didn't trauma dump to me. I'm really glad that there's been a positive outcome here. Seriously. Bad Dragon Love, thank you for the $5. So noted. Welcome to the world. Thank you for the incredibly kind $50 donation. Why isn't anyone talking removing Section 230 protection with Elon /TW due to editorializing? Binder /reporters should sue via ACLU class action, but just dumb dokes. I don't know if they'd be able to under that. I don't know enough about the specifics. And then with the additional $50, question, removing Section 230 protection with Elon /TW due to editorializing a route. I don't know if that relates necessarily. Section 230 has to do with like broader protections for platforms and how they handle like copyrighted material or illegal material, right? Or like protections for social media platforms. I don't know if that would necessarily apply to anything here. I don't know. This doesn't really have to do with like copyrighted or illegal or like civilly liable content. I would have to read an article to get my thoughts run on that. On all websites, not just social media platforms. Sadashan with the tier 1 sub. Yes. John Garrison, thank you for the $5. This video made me want to tear my eyes out. Private company paid by the state to spy on 6 to 12th graders. Really good Vice piece. Oh, neat. Inside the company surveilling millions of students. Cool. I'll have to take a look at that in my own time, though. And Sake with the 4 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much. Oh, Sake, it got a bit out of hand last time. Okay, we did it, guys. We caught up on donos. I love you all very much. You're all beautiful people. Apparently, despite the house having multiple bathrooms, I have to make way for the one next to me. So I'm going to make sure to donate to PV22. I love you all very much, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow if I'm not in a crazy bad mood because of seasonal depression. Who are we rating? Who are we rating? Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns.